Now let's go to Atlanta and Trevor Matich.
It's raining outside in Atlanta, but perfect inside the Georgia Dome as the Falcons try to keep their playoff hopes alive against Buffalo. They'll have to do it without their starting defensive end, Brady Smith, and fullback Bob Christian strained his calf in practice last week. He will play, but he'll be limited. For Buffalo, their starting tailback Travis Henry will miss this week's game. Lawyer Malloy of the Patriots fell on his knee and sprained it last week, and that's a big loss for the Bills. He has been the workhorse. Sean Bryson, his former University of Tennessee teammate, will try to pick up the slack today. That's the story from here. Let's go back to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, well, thank you, Trevor, for that story. Coming up later in today's doubleheader game here on CBS, everyone in America will see Cleveland taking on Green Bay out in Lambeau Field, where the tundra should be nice and frozen today. The United States Postal Service delivers today's top performers. Upper right corner of your screen. Here are the players you might want to consider starting. They may have big days, or you may not want to. We'll also list the ones who could struggle. Bottom of your screen, all the pertinent game information. We're going to begin with Seattle against the Giants. And Mike, I want to remind you that it's not impossible for the Giants to win that NFC East with that Eagles loss yesterday. If they can win this one against Seattle, next week they take on the Eagles. A win there, it could come down to the last week of the season.
Come on.
They could beat the Eagles head-to-head. The last week of the season, Philadelphia plays at Tampa, and the Giants are at home against Green Bay. Go ahead, Mike.
Gifts and butts for candies, and that's what they have. A Merry Christmas. Sean Alexander will end that today. They're going to rush the ball down the Giants' throat.
Hey, I think Craig James is onto something here. There's a report, too. Corin Robinson and Darrell Jackson, the wide receivers of Seattle, down the field from Hasselback.
Well, you know, Mike, you said Seattle is going to run the ball down the Giants. The Giants' strength is that defensive line against those formations. This game is going to be real close.
There you go. You give them a chance. I'm just trying to get them the next week's game against Philadelphia to keep it alive.
Yeah, for you.
He says forget about it. New Orleans against Tampa Bay. This is like an elimination game right here, Mike.
No, it's not like an elimination game. It is an elimination game. And maybe the Saints are going to go back to playing football like they've been playing all year. Forget about that trick stuff they tried against the Rams and slam it right down the Tampa Bay's throat.
Well, the Tampa Bay Bucs are the 30th ranked running team in the league, 78.5 yards a game.
Wow.
The reason that the window of opportunity is slamming shut on their fingers is Brad Johnson has not produced the quarterback position.
And you know, you look at both defenses really play well only on occasion. I think this week the Saints will win because they got the better back and they got the better quarterback.
All right, so let's go ahead then and pick the top performers of the day. Mike, you're up.
Well, I'm going to go with Cordell Stewart. And Cordell Stewart against Detroit's defense, I think Cordell Stewart's going to have a big day.
Well, Priest Holmes lit up San Diego for 181 yards. Last time these two teams meet, repeat.
Wow. Hey, how about Curtis Martin going against the Indianapolis Colts?
You guys are all big on the Jets here against the Colts. We'll talk about that later. Thank you, gentlemen. For more.
The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36.
The Giants being introduced, they'll host Seattle, and barring a Super Bowl appearance by the Seahawks, the next time they play an NFC team after today, they will be in that conference next year. They'll make the shift over. Mike, some last thoughts, Seattle Giants.
Well, my only thought is one thing. I think Seattle's going to win the game for one reason. I think they're going to run Sean Alexander and be very successful in controlling the clock.
Everyone wants to know why the Giants have been so disappointing this year. To me, it's the defense has not played up to snuff, and Kerry Collins has been unseen since that Minnesota playoff game last year.
Well, I think you go right back what you're saying. Who has the best quarterback? Has Hasselback grown enough to be better than Kerry?
All right. For those of you scheduled to see only the Browns-Packers game at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're back in just a moment. But for most of you, it is game time on the NFL Today. Enjoy it all right here on CBS, and happy holidays to you and yours. Thanks for being with us, everybody. Have a great day.
Georgia Dome, Buffalo's first trip inside the big house to play the Atlanta Falcons. Hi, everyone. I'm Craig Bolerjack along with Trevor Matich. Atlanta still in the playoff picture. Trevor, it's a slim chance, but it's a chance.
Yeah, and in order for that chance to work out, they've got to protect Chris Chandler. When he's vertical, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's been sacked 15 times in the last 2 games. They'll have to do a much better job of protecting him today against Buffalo's young defensive front. For Buffalo, Travis Henry, tailback, is out. He'll be replaced by Sean Bryson. Bryson hasn't been used much. Henry has been the workhorse, but he is actually faster than Travis Henry. The Bills think he might be able to rip off some big plays today against the Falcons' struggling defense.
And Bryson's family is here in Atlanta for a holiday reunion. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
If you're on a nostalgia kick, so is 60 Minutes, and no one has more of it or does it better than they do. Starting tonight with Muhammad Ali.
Joe Mantegna, James Garner, First Monday, a new series premiering January 15th.
What would it be worth to wake up in a great mood?
I'm in a great mood!
Because you had a good night's sleep.
I slept like a baby!
In a nice, comfortable room.
What a room, yeah!
How about 10% off?
Hey, I like that 10%!
With Super 8's VIP card, it's yours, guaranteed.
VIP, that's me!
At over 1,900 locations. Clean, friendly Super 8.
Clean, friendly, yeah!
Super 8, all the room you want.
Yeah!
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Ticket Control Center, everybody. I'm your host, Spencer Tillman. And guess what? I'm pretty sure I've got a perfect gift for you today. 11 exciting NFL matchups for you to choose from, 9 of which are about ready to start in just a few minutes. Now, one NFL quarterback has gotten most everything on his wish list so far this season, and that would be Pittsburgh's Cordell Stewart. After being relegated to wide receiver by Coach Bill Cowher just 2 years ago, Stewart now appears to have mastered the quarterback spot. He's led the Steelers to 6 straight victories, including that dramatic 26-21 win over Baltimore last Sunday night. Stewart was huge, 333 yards passing, 55 more on the ground. Now, with those kind of gaudy numbers, it's no surprise his name is starting to pop up as a potential MVP candidate. The Steelers host the Lions, who are on a win streak, by the way. But the big game of the day, to be sure, the Saints at Tampa Bay, 2 teams on the NFC playoff bubble. Now, the Bears, leaders of the NFC Central, are in Washington, where the Redskins hope to get back to 500. Now, the Giants also look to get there against the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams have a chance to improve to 8-0 on the road when they visit Carolina. Only 5 other teams have done that since 1970. 4 went on to win the Super Bowl. Now, at 4 o'clock, the Browns visit Lambeau Field. The Packers try to clinch their first playoff trip in 3 years. Enjoy the games, everybody. I'll see you later here on NFL Sunday Ticket.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The Atlanta Falcons soared into the NFC West race for the first 3 quarters of the season, including 3 straight wins in November. They stood peachy at 6-4. December, though, has been a disappointment. 3 straight losses, and playoff hopes have virtually flown the coop. Buffalo can't point to anyone but themselves. They're down and out, yet willing to spoil any team's playoff hopes. The Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Alex Van Pelt took over for the injured Rob Johnson 5 weeks ago. Knows this West Coast offense and will pose a big challenge for the Atlanta secondary. Bills, Falcons next.
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a tribute to the emerging teams and players making the unexpected happen. Subway, eat fresh. Head coach Marty Morningweg's Lions finally earned their first victory of the season, thanks in part to rookie quarterback Mike McMahon, who accounted for 316 yards in a 27-24 Week 14 win over the Vikings. The Steelers clinched the AFC Central title with stellar performances from quarterback Cordell Stewart and receiver Plexico Burress in a 26-21 victory over the Ravens.
His name is Henry, Clay Henry. He's a fireman and a Jared fan from Subway. He got real big on burgers and fries. Now he's down to a smaller size. Gets his might from his veggie delight. Great taste each day from his local Subway. He's Henry, Clay Henry.
With the help of exercise and the great taste of Subway's 7 sandwiches with just 6 grams of fat or less, people like Clay Henry are inspirations for everyone to follow.
Subway, eat fresh.
Happy holidays to you. Buffalo at Atlanta, Georgia Dome. We look at the NFC playoff pictures. Falcons outside, Trevor, looking in. Atlanta, however, tied with 2 other teams. It's going to be tough down the stretch. The Redskins and the Giants also to looking in the playoffs. And Buffalo, well, it's a season of disappointment at 2-11, 0-6 in division play.
And they've got a very, very young team in Buffalo. And the beginning of the season with new schemes and new coaches and being so young, they struggled mightily. They've been playing hard and well over the last several games, and Atlanta catches them at a tough time as they're trying to stay alive in the playoffs.
Falcons won the toss and will receive. A flag is down on the kick by Shane Graham into the end zone, but a flag thrown at the 35-yard line to start this game. Derek Vaughn, area's number 37, was back to receive. So Chandler will have to wait.
Well, you get a young team. Greg Williams not happy with that. They want to finish strong, Buffalo does, and you don't finish strong by starting the opening kickoff by being offsides.
Offside on the kicking team. Number 41, 5 yards, re-kick.
That's Philip Crosby. He's backup fullback. You know, you just get all excited. You're a young player. You're all keyed up. Your coach is in his first season as the head coach, and he wants you to go, and you end up offsides.
Rookie head coach of the Bills, and there's on the other side a man been around this game a long time. Dan Reeves, third stop as a head coach. 5 years in Atlanta. Spent 12 in Denver and 4 with the New York Giants.
Look at that 30-yard line. And you're going to see right there the kicker. As soon as he kicks that off, number 41, Philip Crosby, is over the top. And it only has to be one step, but look at what that one step has done. The momentum, you get keyed up, getting ready to go for the game. You're excited about it. You get your rhythm in pregame warm-up, but all of a sudden the game is delayed by 3 or 4 minutes because they got to go reset the thing.
Trevor, you played this game for 12 years. I mean, what a way to start this game. I mean, you got playoff implications for the Falcons. Buffalo trying to spoil the show. And it's a short kick, second time around. Boy, Vaughn dropped it at the 20, picks it up, and still on his feet, dropped to the 29-yard line. And here comes Chris Chandler. 14-year pro, over 2,300 yards passing this season, 14 touchdowns with 11 interceptions. You know, when Chandler stays healthy, good things usually happen for the Atlanta Falcons.
Problem is keeping him healthy.
Maurice Smith will start in the backfield, and a 2 wide receiver set, 2 tight ends also with Kelly and Crumpler. First and 10 from the 29. Maurice Smith up the middle, maybe 3 yards to the 33-yard line. Tackled there by Brandon Spoon. A pickup of 4, and let's set that Atlanta offense. And up front, it's going to be Whitfield, Garza, McClure, Forney, and Salam. Running back is Mo Smith. The wideouts, Martin and Mathis. The tight ends will start with that double set of Kelly and Crumpler. Second down, 6. Chandler, first throw of the day. Throws at the flat. It's caught. Maurice Smith, not much. In fact, maybe loses a yard back to the 33-yard line. And defensively, for Buffalo, a very young Bills defense. Up front is the old guy. Hanson's been around 11 years. Larson, Edwards, and Schobel. The rookie from TCU. Linebackers are active. Newman, Spoon, and Jay Foreman. And the secondary, the 2 corners of Winfield and Clements, they'll hit you. Oh, they'll hit you. Carpenter and Hill are the safeties. Third down and 6 for Atlanta. 3 wide receivers. They stack it on the far side. Movement up front. Flags. Chandler dropped at the 25-yard line, and it was Jay Foreman.
Well, Ronnie Bradford, or check that.
Defense, offside, number 23.
And that's Pearson.
5-yard penalty.
This is what
Still
happens
third
when
down.
you've got a young defense. Now, Greg Williams, a defensive-oriented coach, saw in the breakdown films watching the Falcons offense how much success defenses had blitzing defensive backs off the blind side of Chris Chandler. So they put Pearson down there, defensive back, and try to get him to go. The problem was that Chandler came with a hard count. Pearson jumped, and so rather than a blitz and a possible sack, it's now 3rd and short.
At less than 2 minutes into this game, the Bills whistle for 2 flags for 10 yards. 3rd down and short. Fumble the snap. Chandler, loose ball still on the ground, and it's picked up by the Falcons. 1st down, unbelievable, at the 46-yard line. And Bob Whitfield, the 10-year pro, able to gather that loose ball in for a 1st down. That's the 1st down the hard way.
That's the hard way for Atlanta, but this is what's happened to Buffalo all season long. If a ball's been on the ground, not only does the other team jump on it, they jump on it for a 1st down. Here's Whitfield. The ball's going to be on the ground. Now, Whitfield, 70, is going to get up off the ground and jump on that thing. An offensive lineman 5 yards down the field. The ball does not bounce to Buffalo Bills this season.
You know, he's lost 30 pounds from a year ago. Told us in our meeting on Thursday, hey, I'm agile. Right there, proof positive. Chandler wants to throw, far sideline, pitch and catch. Mathis has it, 9 yards. Will bump him out of bounds at the 45 of Buffalo. Antoine Winfield, the left corner. And Trevor, as we mentioned, it's an outside possibility, but still a chance for Atlanta. Atlanta must win their 3 remaining games. Very simple. Tampa Bay, New Orleans also playing today. The winner must lose the last 2, or the loser of that game must lose 1 more. Giants must lose 1 more. That's just a simple way of looking at it.
Yeah, and there's so many different possibilities within that, but for Atlanta, they have to win out. That means today.
A pickup of 8, 2nd down 2 at the 45 of Buffalo. Handoff, Maurice Smith. Good pursuit by the guys in white to the line of scrimmage at the 45, and Keith Newman made the tackle. 3rd-year pro out of North Carolina.
Well, this Buffalo defense is very, very young. The only guy with more than 3 years in the NFL on that starting defense is Phil Hansen, and he's got 11. He almost has more years than the rest of them combined. And so in the beginning of this season, with the new defense that Greg Williams has brought in, even Phil Hansen hasn't been able to help the young rookies learn the nuances of the defense because he doesn't know it either. Well, at this point of the season, they're getting better at it, and they're playing much better.
3rd down and 2. Shotgun for Chandler. High snap. Sets up, throws the screen to the flat, over the shoulder catch by Christian. And to the 40-yard line, 1st down, Atlanta. Bob Christian was a question mark to even play in this game, let alone start, with a calf injury.
I went out to practice on Thursday. When I walked in, about 5 minutes after practice started, everyone else was in pads, and there's Bob Christian working with the trainer. He comes from the opposite side of the formation. The idea there is to create space so that the linebackers have to chase him. Then you can see Jay Foreman gives him plenty of space, and that's how they get the 1st down. But he is hobbled today with that calf injury.
7th play of this drive coming up. They split the backs on 1st and 10 from the 40. Maurice Smith right up the middle, 5 yards, and then dropped at the 35. Maurice Smith has been hobbled with some problems on the injury department, with some knee problems, an ankle injury, and in fact, Mo Smith will have some off-season knee surgery to repair some cartilage.
Yeah, and there's Jamal Anderson. Jamal injured in the 3rd game of the season against Arizona, and that really hurt this team. But Maurice Smith has stepped up and played well when he's been healthy. But for the last month, he's been anywhere from 50% to 85% today. He told me that in the locker room a couple days ago.
Now, you look good in that coat, by the way. They'd have to get an extra large or double X. Maurice Smith tried it up the middle now, bumped outside, chopped down at the 37-yard line. Winfield from the left side, the left corner, with a picture-perfect tackle.
He's their leading tackler, and the problem is Winfield is just a little bitty defensive back. You've got a big bruising tailback in Maurice Smith, but Winfield doesn't just come up and grab cloth. He lays a blow on him, and these cornerbacks will come up and paste you. if you're not careful.
Won the Jim Thorpe Award, senior at Ohio State, two-time All-American. This played nearly 6 minutes, this drive nearly 6 minutes old. Third down, Chandler, shotgun, pressure, throws, man coverage. It's caught. Finneran bumped down at the 2-yard line. And Clements saved the touchdown, 36-yard gain. Finneran a big target. Trevor at 6'5" and caught an 18-yard touchdown last week against the Colts.
And a good safety valve for Chandler. They blitz 2 defensive backs right up the middle, and they get a hit on it. But Chandler's able to throw the ball up in the air, knowing that Finneran can go up and take it away from those smaller defensive backs. Now, Chandler may not have thrown that ball at all had he not had his 6'5" receiver down the middle.
First and goal at the 2-yard line. Kozlowski in motion. Maurice Smith up the middle. Touchdown, Atlanta. Impressive opening drive. It started off slowly with a couple of flags. But the Falcons move it downfield, and Maurice Smith with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
You know, you talk about it starting off slowly. Buffalo's defense was stymieing Atlanta's offense, and then 2 things happened. The offsides penalty by Pearson on a blitz, and then the fumble that offensive lineman Bob Whitfield recovered instead of Buffalo.
Extra point, Feely boots it up and good. He's perfect on the season now. 23 of 23 in point after attempts. Atlanta strikes on the opening drive. A 2-yard run by Maurice Smith. 7-0 Falcons. Atlanta scores on their opening drive, and don't forget to log on to NFL.com as this week's Stat Pack breaks down kickers and their ability to get the job done in crunch time this season. Just go to NFL.com or America Online, enter keyword NFL.com. Feely kicks away. Short kick, taken at the 10-yard line. Sean Bryson up the middle he goes, breaks a tackle, goes outside, still on his feet. Bryson at the 40. And ran out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A fine return by Bryson. John Del Cardi made the tackle. We'll come back to the Georgia Dome. Buffalo. We'll have it after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new 200-horsepower Acura RSX Type S. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Zales, the Diamond Store.
Back at the Georgia Dome. Buffalo's first offensive series as you look at Alex Van Pelt. 6 straight starts since Rob Johnson went down with that broken collarbone. They will start with the pitch. Bryson breaks the tackle at the 50. Still on his feet. Flags are down. And Bryson with power and speed to the 39 of Atlanta. Finally, Ray Buchanan made the tackle. And Bryson's mom, Susie, and family on the right with her Christmas sweater on, watching. Flags are down.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask on the defense, number 34. We'll add 15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
You know, I don't think Ray Buchanan, number 34, who had the penalty, really fully expected Sean Bryson to arrive there with as much force as he did. Good blocking, and look at the burst that comes up now. And look at the force he arrives with. And I think Ray Buchanan was not expecting that and grabbed the face mask so he could sort of save himself from getting run over.
Trevor, you saw Gerald McBurrows, the strong safety, number 22, with a nice hit right on the thigh pad. But Bryson, who goes about 235, just ran right through him.
He's their biggest back, and he's one of the fastest players on the Buffalo Bills football team.
First and 10, Buffalo down 7. Their opening drive as Van Pelt goes back to throw. Bullet to the middle of the field and is caught at the 15-yard line. That's Peerless Price. And offensively for the Buffalo Bills. Up front, it's Fina, Brown, Conity, Ostrowski, and Jonas Jennings, a rookie on the right side. Bryson gets a start at running back. Sinners at the fullback. Moles and Price, your wideouts, and the tight end is Remersma. A pickup of 9. Boy, impressive start for Buffalo here on the road. Second down short. Van Pelt to give. Bryson, big hole up the middle. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Well, last week, Edgerrin James was out. Backup tailback Dominique Rhodes was in. The Falcons defense thought that they were going to have a shot at shutting down that running game, but Dominique Rhodes lit him up. And all of a sudden now, backup tailback Sean Bryson. Look at the burst through the hole. Look at the increase in speed once he gets to the hole, and that is surprising Atlanta coming from a backup tailback. That's his first NFL touchdown.
You know, he led the Bills in rushing last year with just under 600 yards, and the kick is up and good. Graham connects. Oh, impressive drive. Bryson, it was all Bryson for Buffalo as he rumbles up the middle. We're tied at 7.
The world's greatest golfers will claim history as their own. The PGA Tour is on CBS Sports.
Quick touchdowns by both Atlanta and Buffalo, tied at 7. 7:02 left, opening quarter.
And what a critical thing for a young team, Buffalo, that's 2-11, to answer a touchdown with a touchdown of their own on the road.
Greg Williams, the head coach, the rookie head coach of Buffalo, said it best to us yesterday, Trevor. It's all about how you finish. And this team is trying to finish strong. Vaughn tackled down at the 21-yard line.
That's Philip Crosby down there. Frelo. This is just a run up the middle. Look at the burst of Bryson right there. As soon as he hits that hole, he turns on another jet, another gear. And I'll tell you, the defense of the Falcons has really seriously struggled the last 3 games, allowing 34 points a game plus. I mean, they have personnel that's much better than that, but there's a myriad of things that are not coming together for them.
From the 21-yard line, Atlanta. Second offensive series, Maurice Smith, maybe a yard as he leans to the 22-yard line. Ron Edwards, who gets the start for Pat Williams at right defensive tackle. Williams out, Trevor, with a broken fibula. In fact, they're missing their 2 front guys, Sean Price and Pat Williams today with injury.
And they're missing their middle linebacker. Remember Sam Coward?
Yeah.
He's out with an Achilles injury all season long. And even so, they haven't given up a touchdown, this Buffalo defense, in the last 6 quarters. They are coming together.
Second down and 9. Play action. Chandler, good protection, throws far sideline, close to a first down is Tony Martin, 36 years young, with the reception, and Nate Clements, the rookie.
And you said it, good protection. Before he makes the break, the ball's out. The ball's out now. And he turns his head later. The ball's halfway through his trajectory. And so there's not much that Nate Clements can do in man-for-man coverage. Tony Martin's been doing this for years with Chris Chandler. And as long as the offensive line protects Chandler, this will happen all game.
Chandler 5 for 5 to start this game, 58 yards and 5 different receivers. Mathis in motion. Chandler again, good protection, up and over the middle, caught at midfield. And again, Tony Martin made the cut as Chandler made the release. You protect Chris Chandler and he has a great throw downfield.
And the running game going so well allows this to open up. Clements is man for man again. He's got safety help in the middle. And what happens is the ball comes out from the time that Clements turns Martin loose to the safety. The safety doesn't get there in time. This all occurs because Chandler has the time to wait for it to develop.
Under 5 minutes left, opening quarter. 20-yard pickup by Martin. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Buffalo. Back to the ground, Maurice Smith. You can tell Buffalo's defense now loosening up a little bit because of the pass. Now they come back. Atlanta attacks with the run to the 46-yard line.
If they can continue to get the running game going like they have so far in this first quarter, Chandler's going to have even more of an advantage because of his experience. This young secondary, young defense of Buffalo is playing well the last several games. But take a look at the total experience of Atlanta's quarterback and 3 top receivers versus the secondary of Buffalo. And so there's a lot of little nuances in the NFL that they'll learn by being torched by. And Chandler wants to torch him a few times today and teach him a few lessons.
That was McCord out of the backfield, and incomplete pass. Quentin McCord, number 88, one of the 5 wideouts
hit the ground.
That's used in that Atlanta offense.
Well, he's throwing to many different people. He wants this Buffalo defense to have to cover everybody out there and not just key on 1 or 2 people. And so early in the game, Chandler, that's part of his experience. And Dan Reeves, in terms of calling those plays, is to make Buffalo look at every single guy out there and not know where they're going to get hit from next.
Atlanta so far successful, as you see, 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. Looking at 3rd down and 8. Chandler from the shotgun. Again, good protection, steps, throws, wide open. Up on the ladder is Mathis at the 25. Antoine Winfield made the tackle, but Mathis able to get between 3 white jerseys and pick up 21.
Well, last time they threw the ball, Buffalo rushed 7, dropped back 4. This time they rushed 3 and dropped back 8. Chandler reads it. So does Mathis, and Mathis doesn't continue his route. You can see there he gets in that hole in the zone and sits down and waits. And Chandler has the time to hit it.
I mentioned Martin's 36. Terrence Mathis is the young guy. He's 34.
Yeah, young.
1st down, 25-yard line of Buffalo. From the eye. Handoff, Christian, the fullback, to the 22. And Christian's that all-around back, Trevor. He can run with the ball, has a nice average of about 7.5 yards per carry, and a good receiver out of the backfield.
And can do a lot of different things for you. Therefore, it creates matchup problems on the defense. But what he just there is very important to what the offense will be able to accomplish today. I mean, they don't need to get a lot of rushing yards. They need to get enough rushing yards so that Buffalo has to respect the run. That opens up play-action pass, and that's what has not been there for the Falcons the last 4 games.
8th play of this drive. Double tight set once again. Lone back is Maurice Smith. Chandler to the sideline, and it's caught out of bounds. Algie Crumpler, the tight end, and Foreman, the outside linebacker, made the tackle.
And he hits another different receiver. They've got 3 tight ends that can catch the ball. Crumpler, one of the best in terms of pass receiving, and Chandler continues to spread it around, continues to give that young Buffalo defense more people to have to worry about.
How about that start in the 1st quarter? Already over 100 yards passing, 8 of 9.
And keep in mind again what this Buffalo team did last week to the hot New England Patriots. Held them without a touchdown.
3rd down and 2. Mathis in motion, movement up front to the end zone. Man coverage, and it's tipped and incomplete. Well, that was a chancy throw against the rookie Nate Clements, who had good body control.
This is the matchup we'll be watching all day. Chandler is staring at this matchup the whole time. He knows it's one-on-one. He's just waiting for his receiver to get free, but Tony Martin never does get free. Nate Clemens is a big, thick, powerful cornerback, and he tied him up physically that time.
Clemens, a rookie out of Ohio State, the #1 pick a year ago. This will be from 35 yards. High snap, the kick is away and through the uprights. So for Feely, who's been very effective from 30 yards and better. So Atlanta scoring on their first 2 series. They lead by 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Honda CR-V, a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. And by Cellular One. When you need a cell phone, Cellular One is here.
Well, Monday on CBS, it's a night of great television, starting with The King of Queens, followed by The Ellen Show. Everybody loves Raymond, Becker, and Family Law. That's Monday right here on CBS. Feely just kicking that 35-yarder, has it teed up. Atlanta up by 10. Angles to the corner. Bryson at the goal line. Bryson at the 20. And hits a wall of black jerseys down at the 19. (10-7) Atlanta. We'll be back.
He was tough, spirited, and intimidating. yet he's remembered as compassionate and generous. CBS Sports presents The Bear, the legend of Coach Paul Bryant, next Saturday.
Three drives in this game, 3 scores, 10-7-11, and Wednesday on CBS, join President Bush and the world's biggest stars when America pays tribute to Jack Nicholson, Julie Andrews, and more. Don't miss the Kennedy Center Honors. That's Wednesday right here on CBS. 10-7 Falcons. Alex Van Pelt under center, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Bryson pulled down at the 23, and Trevor, we never had a chance. This game was moved so fast to set the Atlanta defense. And here up front, you'll find Patrick Kearney with 10.5 sacks. Travis Hall, Shane Dronette, and Chuck Wiley. The linebackers of Draft, Brooking, and Crockett. And the secondary experience on those corners, Buchanan and Ambrose will pinch you. And McBurrows and Bradford, your safeties. To the 29. Eric Moles with the catch. Ambrose made the tackle. And that's the 63rd straight game Moles has had a reception.
And he gets this because Alex Van Pelt knows the offense. He's got motion into here. This guy follows him in, so he knows that there's man-to-man coverage on the top with Eric Moles. And so as soon as he sees that, he knows Moles will be open on the quick slant route because there will be no underneath coverage help. All that happened because of the motion.
Trevor Van Pelt ran this offense at Pittsburgh, had some time with Kansas City, and has really picked it up here with Buffalo. 3rd down and 1, and now Van Pelt will call for a timeout.
Timeout.
And we'll take a break. 50 seconds left, opening quarter. Atlanta by 3.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
We're looking for the closest shave. Ooh, not his. Couldn't get the tough spots. But he did. He got total closeness with the new Remington TCT, the only shaver designed to get the tough spots. With a unique system that first trims the hard-to-get hairs, followed by 3 flexing foils to cut even closer. And now introducing the new Remington Rotary TCT. More flexing action than any other. The new Remington TCT shavers. Total closeness or your money back.
10-7 Atlanta as Van Pelt makes his way back to the huddle. And Trevor, this Buffalo team, you find out quickly when you talk to Greg Williams, it's a disciplined team. He has brought discipline. I liked a couple of comments he told us. You know, yeah, I'm tough, but I wanted to show the guys there's personality behind the structure. How about this one? Wit behind the whip.
I like that.
Sounds like my 3rd grade teacher. It's going to be close. They're may have to bring the sticks out here. Up, 1st down.
Well, you can tell within 30 seconds of talking to a coach as a player or a former player whether or not you'd want to play for this guy. And he is a very disciplined coach, and he makes you work. It's intense to go to work at the Buffalo Bills complex. But you think of a player's coach. A player's coach is not really the guy that you want to play for. The player's coach is the guy that you want your teammates to play for because you want to win. And he is definitely a player's coach by that definition.
Well, he said he had wit, but he also carries the whip. Play action. Van Pelt steps up, throws over the middle, incomplete. Just about a stride and a half in front of Moles. Ambrose back there on coverage.
Well, that play is to try to take advantage of man coverage. But even though it wasn't complete, Van Pelt knows that that'll open up the running game. They've run so successfully with Sean Bryson over the course of this 1st quarter that Atlanta has been bringing up safeties to an 8-man front. And so they said, okay, let's back them back off. And that has that effect when you throw it that deep.
Final play of this quarter, just 2 seconds left on the clock. Remersma in motion. They're going to pitch. Bryson works near side, breaks a tackle down the sideline and popped out of bounds at the 49, but flags are down. A pair of flags around the 33-yard line.
And boy, the offensive line is going back. Yeah, they're indicating holding. You can always tell where the offensive line walks, that's where it's going to be because they want to mosey on back. Jonas Jennings had a marvelous.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That's tight end Jay Reamersma, and that just negates a beautiful run and even a nicer block. That was a 22-yard gain.
That ends the first quarter. Atlanta on top of Buffalo, 10-7. You'll return to the Georgia Dome after this message.
You know how Santa knows if you're bad or good? He can see you through his magic lens. Now we know the secret.
We just broke one of the biggest stories of all time right there. Start of the second quarter, second down on the 21-yard line. Van Pelt, 5-step drop, throws. It's complete and bumped out of bounds is Larry Sinners. And catching the football is, well, no big deal to Larry Sinners. He's the all-time leading receiver by a running back. That was number 758. 758, and that's his 73rd of the season.
And he is a guy that's critical to the development of these young Buffalo Bills. Greg Williams told us yesterday he has never seen Larry Sinners say anything wrong at the complex or have a poor effort practice. That example these young players need to learn.
Van Pelt under pressure, steps up and throws. And Sinners was met right when he caught the ball around the 32. Good shot, good hit by Brookie, number 56.
And finally, Atlanta's defense is settling down. Buffalo just went right through him in that first quarter, and they do have personnel. They've got to put it all together like Humpty Dumpty with the cracks. It makes a beautiful egg, but not if it's all in pieces.
Darian Gordon back to receive the punt. Leads the NFL with his 15-yard return average. We saw Billy White Shoes Johnson at the complex on Thursday. Said, boy, I wish I had some blockers like Gordon does this day and age. When I was back there, he still had his white shoes on, by the way. Gordon at the 29, Gordon at the 40. Gordon still on his feet to the 47-yard line, hit by Fred Jones. 36-yard punt and an 18-yard return for Gordon. We'll be back.
January 8th.
Atlanta on top of Buffalo, 10-7. Coming up on the next Hill halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, all the scores, all the highlights, plus a report from the Cleveland Green Bay game. Now, you were talking about Santa with this magical camera. That kid's got the magical binoculars, keeping an eye on Mr. Claus.
Santa better be good.
Boy, not much as Buffalo makes contact at the 49-yard line. Larson and Newman with the tackle.
Boy, that was contact. That was a major league collision right up the middle of that defense. Keith Newman.
Young linebacking core for Buffalo. Trevor Newman, 3 years out of North Carolina. Spoon, a rookie from North Carolina. And Foreman, 3 years out of Nebraska. Second down and 8. Chandler, 3-step drop on the hot slant. Hooks up with Finneran to the 32-yard line. And Finneran had that touchdown last week against the Colts. This is an up-and-coming wideout for Atlanta. 6'5", 210. And you could tell when we talked to Chandler on Friday, Trevor, he really lit up about the potential of what this guy can become in the National Football League.
Yeah, and he knew it from throwing to him in practice, but it was just a matter of him coming through in games, and he has. As we look at Rayon Hill, strong safety, who's down and looks to be in a bit of pain. Rayon Hill very important to this run defense because they want to put 8 men up as much as they can to stop the run. He's the 8th guy.
Day.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth. DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. And by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular.
Happy to report Rayon Hill, second year out of LSU, able to walk off the field under his own power. Pearson Prelo out of Virginia Tech, number 23, replaces Hill at the strong safety. First down, Atlanta. Rodney Thomas the ball carrier, to the 29-yard line. So Thomas gets his first carry as Mo Smith, his second carry as Mo Smith takes a breather. Tackled by Prelo.
Prelo in for Rayon Hill. We'll see if Rayon comes back. Rodney Thomas, a very quick back, very different from Jamal Anderson or Maurice Smith. This guy is a jitterbug. He makes a lot of cuts. He does a lot of jukes rather than pounding you in the hole. And you know, when you look at the balance of rush and pass, not just that, but also the balance of how many different receivers, 6 different receivers have caught passes. They've done a good job of spreading it around.
Chandler 9 of 11 throwing for 122 yards early. They bring the blitz. Chandler takes his seat back at the 39 and sacks, a major problem for Atlanta's front coming into today. 54 times they have given up a sack. Chandler's gone down. That's his 40th time he's gone down. Michael Vick been sacked 13.
Well, Keith Newman is going to come through untouched. This has been a real problem for this offensive front. And not only is he getting sacked, he's really getting hit an awful lot. As he comes through here, he sees Newman coming. He still looks downfield, and he's got enough sense to be able to soften the blow by kind of crouching down and stepping back. But, you know, they can't allow this to happen or they don't have a chance to win.
3rd sack of the season for Newman. Chandler back to pass. Flags are down. Throws. Nearly intercepted inside the 20-yard line. It falls incomplete. Finneran, the intended receiver, holding the call.
Well, now the offensive line had better be careful. 15 sacks allowed in the last 2 weeks. It's not all the offensive line's fault. The thing about this line of Atlanta is that it's good enough to be effective when the defense has to play honest and respect the run and the pass. But when the defense can stack
illegal
up
hands to the face, number 74, hands to the helmet. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's Ephraim Salam. He's the one that allowed Keith Newman to come in and unblock the last play, and he overreacts and gets a penalty on this one. But this offensive line can do the job if the defense plays honest. But when they blitz all out like they did last play, this offensive line doesn't have the talent to overcome that. That's why it's critical for Atlanta to establish that run.
Peerless Price back to receive the punt from Moore at the 50.
Let it go!
Launches a high hanger. Price will let this one bounce inside the 10, inside the 6-yard line, right at the 5. Boy, nice pooch punt of 33 yards by Moore. It's the holiday season here in Atlanta. We wish you the very best. 10-7 Falcons.
It is here that you will witness a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Saturday, you can see the All-American icon known as Bear through the eyes of Joe Namath, Ken Stabler, Bo, and more on the legend of Coach Paul Bear Bryant, a CBS Sports special. And for more, go to cbs.sportsline.com, America Online keyword, enter CBS Sportsline. Ben Pelt rolls and is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That was Travis Hall, number 98, 7-year pro out of Brigham Young.
And he took the center, Billy Connolly, and just drove him straight back. It was a power move. Here he is. He just drives and drives and drives, and then the big paw goes up in the air. And, you know, that's Billy Connolly did a good job of not holding, because had he overreacted there and held in the end zone, would have been a safety.
Brings up 2nd down and 10, 11:01 left in the first half. Atlanta by 3. Bryson, boy, nearly broke it for a moment to the 11.
You know what? I love his burst. He's very quick going from 0 to speed. He and Peerless Price at the University of Tennessee National Championship game, they were teammates there, our National Championship year, and they both ran a 40 in the 4.3s, 4.36, 4.38. And so he is a very, very fast player. And so he's averaging 4.4 yards a carry here, partly because of the big plays in the first quarter, but look for him to bust out and get more runs for more than 20 yards today.
Bryson out, Sinners in. Bryson with 6 carries for 45 yards. First time we've heard this Falcon crowd get a little vocal on 3rd down and 4. Sinners, a surprise. Breaks it at the 30. Sinners at the 40. Sinners throws a stiff arm and down at the 40-yard line. Derek Vaughn chased down center's 12-year pro, and he picks up 50 yards.
And Reuben Brown, number 79, gets a great block on Chuck Wiley. Look at 79 pull blocks, number 99 Chuck Wiley. That's what opens it up. Everybody else is stacked in the middle. He makes one guy miss. That's Gerald McBurrows. And there he goes. He's known as a pass catcher, but this is the longest run of Larry Center's career.
50 yards. Trevor, he's ran for 94 all season long and picks up a chunk of 50. 1st and 10, Buffalo at the Falcon 40-yard line. Here comes in the end round. Eric Moles has a block and then tripped up by the shoe tops at the 34 by Kearney. The left end, number 97.
Now, why do you run a reverse? You run that reverse because the onside running game is going so well that the defense overreacts. You mentioned earlier in the game how active the linebackers are. So you get them flowing to the left, Moles comes back to the right. And a defense that's playing it honest should never get hurt by a reverse. If you do gain 7 yards, it's because the defense has been overplaying the front side run.
2nd down and 4. Buffalo over 100 yards rushing. Van Pelt sets up the screen. Bryson pulls it down inside the 30 to the 30 or 26-yard line. A flag down now. Travis Hall making the stop.
Illegal use of hands. And once again, Buffalo shooting themselves in the foot.
Offensive pass interference, number 85. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Yeah. That Reamersma can't believe it. And neither can. He was saying that the ball was completed behind the line. Let's see where the ball gets completed. Here's Reamersma. Now, if this ball gets completed behind the line of scrimmage, which it is, there cannot be pass interference on either side. There can be holding, but there can't be pass interference. What the official must have saw was that he must have thought that it was completed in front of the line.
4th flag thrown against Buffalo for 30 yards. Vivian Black in motion, number 89. They're going to pitch out to Bryson. Oh, he is chopped down. What a hit at the 43-yard line. You see Seattle on top of the Giants, 10-7, a game that the Falcon fans are interested in. Chargers, Chiefs tied up at 7.
Baltimore over the Bengals. The Bengals, boy, they started strong and then have struggled of late. Quarterbacks are all injured.
That's a game of defense, too, where you got Takeo Spikes and Ray Lewis across the field.
And not just across the field, but across the media. They've been jobbing at each other along with Sharp.
3 wide receivers set, 3rd down. Van Pelt, good protection, throws over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Moles was the intended receiver, but Brooking, the middle linebacker,
The ball was tipped. There's no pass interference.
He was looking at Peerless Price all the way, and Price kind of sat down in the zone, and Van Pelt was waiting for Price to do something, and Price was waiting for Van Pelt to throw him the ball. Now he's staring at number 81 Price, staring at him, and finally he just drills it where he thinks Price ought to be going, and there's Moles back on the other side. That was just miscommunication between the quarterback and the receivers.
Mormon's first punt went 36 yards, and Gordon returned that punt 18. Sends it sky high, short. Gordon will let it bounce. Takes a touch maybe at the 11. They're going to throw the beanbag down. It was. Rolling inside the 5. And down at the 4-yard line. But it was touched at the 11-yard line.
And what all that pushing's about is that if it's touched by the defensive team, by Buffalo in this case.
There was illegal touching by the kicking team at about the 13-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Atlanta from there.
The rule is that an Atlanta returner can pick up that ball and run with it, and even if he fumbles, it's okay. Atlanta gets the ball back. That's what the pushing was about.
That's not.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Back inside the Georgia Dome, Atlanta with a 10-7 lead over Buffalo. And coming up next, second game of our doubleheader here on CBS, Cleveland at Green Bay. Tim Couch against Brett Favre. Maybe some MVP votes for the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. For more, go to NFL.com. America Online keyword NFL.com. Chris Chandler under center with a 3-point lead. 7:09 left before the half. And off Maurice Smith. Reaches out to the 14-yard line. Good tackle by Leif Larson, the left tackle, number 97.
Well, Maurice Smith is running up into a buzzsaw up in there. This defense 2 years ago, Buffalo, running the 3-4, was the third-ranked defense in the league. Guess who was number one? Tennessee. And now they're running that 4-3 and they're having to learn it, and they're learning it better now. They're running it better now than they have earlier in the season. That's a buzzsaw inside for Atlanta's running game.
And their head coach is Greg Williams, who was Fisher's D coordinator at Tennessee. Under heavy pressure, the ball picked off and touchdown Buffalo. Brandon Spoon. Rayon Hill, who was shaken up earlier, brought the heat on Chandler.
And how many times have you seen in Tennessee the Titans, coached by Greg Williams when he was defensive coordinator there, Blaine Bishop do that exact same thing, wearing a Titans uniform? Take a look right here. He's going to come completely unblocked. Chandler has no idea that he's there. Brandon Spoon has now had his second interception return this year for a touchdown, and he's just a rookie, and that's what the pressure that Greg Williams' defense brings. Most fumbles in the NFL, Craig, don't occur from running backs getting hit at the line of scrimmage. They occur from quarterbacks being hit and sacked and losing the ball.
Brandon Spoon out of North Carolina, fourth round draft pick. Well, some guys play 12, 15 years and don't get a chance to put up numbers like that in the middle linebacking spot. Graham's kick. Hold on, flags are down. Officially, Trevor, a 7-yard interception returned by Spoon.
He's excited. He's a rookie. All of a sudden, 2 touchdowns. For goodness sake, there's a lot of offensive players that don't get 2 touchdowns in a season. But what a gift. And that gift was because of that pressure defense. Rayon Hill comes untouched and unseen, and that's a victory for the coordinators.
Chris Chandler, known and was given a great compliment, by the way, by Greg Williams, Buffalo's head coach. Very cool under pressure. I mean, to survive 14 years, Trevor, put that in perspective as the guys in stripes have their conference, but to survive in this league 14 years says a lot. 14 years, and to get hit as much as Chandler gets hit.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defensive team who jumped into the neutral zone and made the offense false start.
Looked like it was Chuck Wiley that jumped across. Doesn't really much matter. At this point, it's an extra point. You can push them back a lot farther than 5 yards. Right now, they just need to get the rules settled in. But again, this disrupts momentum now. Buffalo got it going. Huge momentum play, and all of a sudden, all that emotion dies down while the officials get it worked out. The question here is, do you decline the penalty or do you take the penalty?
The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
There you go. And there's the question. They wanted to make sure they got that right, because taking 5 yards here, it's not 5 yards, right? It's half the distance to the goal.
Right.
And so either way, a penalty against either team on this doesn't matter very much. They elect to take it on the kickoff because that gives them a better shot at kicking the ball out of the end zone, getting a touchback.
So Graham will try again. High snap, and the kick is away. Chip shot for the extra point. Through the uprights. And Spoon, a 7-yard interception off Chandler. 14-10, Buffalo.
What was that Passat commercial? The one with the fancy all-wheel drive thingy? What was the deal? If one wheel starts slipping, power gets taken away from it and sent to the other wheels. That'd be a good thing to have.
Just a reminder, the 4Motion all-wheel drive system from Volkswagen is only available from Volkswagen.
And the Bills 14, Atlanta 10. Second quarter, 6:23 before the half.
Rayon Hill gave that Christmas gift to Brandon Spoon, coming in and knocking the ball free from Chris Chandler, and Spoon picked it up in the air. That's just one of those shots as a defensive back you only get once or twice in a season, and when you take it, it feels so good. That's a big grin, and he deserves it.
Hill, a second-year pro out of LSU. Well, you just look down Buffalo's defense. It's just young all the way around. I mean, Hansen, as you mentioned, is 11 years in this league, but you got Schobels, the rookie, up front out of TCU. The linebacking core so young, led by Spoon in the middle, a rookie. The outside guys, Clement's a rookie. Winfield, the left corner, 3 years out of Ohio State.
And that's a big advantage. When you're 2-11 here, what's good for Buffalo? What's good? Well, there's a bunch of things that are good. They're 2-11, but they're coming on strong at the end of the year. They're 2-11, but young players have had a chance to get a lot of game experience. And so over the course of the next several years, you'll see Buffalo as one of the huge rebound teams in the NFL because of the foundation they're laying today.
And Trevor, they played New England tough last week, lost in overtime 12-9. And don't forget, New England beat Miami yesterday by 7. And the kick, Vaughn. Corralled and dropped around the 15-16 yard line. Saturday is college basketball here on CBS Sports. Some of you will see the Louisville Cardinals taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. Others will see the Georgetown Hoyas taking on the Bruins. Check your local listings, and for more, go to CBSSportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. And Hoop fans, we got a little special news for you. Christmas present of our own. 97 days from today. Final Four in this building begins. 99 days from today will be the Final Four game, the championship game.
They'll put the court down here, close this off, curtain it off, and probably have about 60,000 people.
First and 10 from the 17. Maurice Smith on the pitch. Finds a seam, driven back at the 21-yard line. Good pursuit, led by Spoon.
Well, Brandon Spoon is one of those young guys that has really benefited from playing time. He was supposed to back up Sam Cowart, their all-world middle linebacker. Cowart goes down with an Achilles injury, lost for the season during training camp, and so young Brandon Spoon has to come in and be the guy in the middle. Well, in the beginning of the season he struggled, but you could see with that tackle he came in with authority, both with his assignment and with the physical tackle.
Second down, I formation for Atlanta. Chandler, deep drop, looking. Flush down in the pocket, dumps underneath to the 25-yard line, and it's caught by the tight end, Reggie Kelly. Or was it? Now there's a flag down.
Well, it looks like illegal.
Personal foul. Roughing the quarterback, number 53, pushing him down unnecessarily on the rollout. 15 yards to the end of the run, first down.
You know, they had what they wanted there. They forced the play to break down. Chandler is not going to make something happen on the scramble. And Keith Newman comes in and just does a bonehead thing. Oh, no need to even touch him there. And Chris Chandler is one of the quarterbacks that officials are going to protect at all costs because they know that he is absolutely helpless. And Williams knows that too, Coach Williams. And boy, what a break for Atlanta.
Clock running, coming up on 5 minutes left. First and 10 now at the 41-yard line. Fifth flag against Buffalo this half for 45 yards. They pick the handoff. They throw to the tight end. Big yards coming for Reggie Kelly. And rolled out of bounds at the 35 by Spoon. Stops the clock with 4:57 left in the half. And Atlanta now in good field position after the big play and also that roughing the passer penalty.
Well, this is what Buffalo has done to themselves. They would have had them stopped had they not had that roughing the passer penalty on Newman. Instead, not only do they get 15 yards and a first down, now they've got new life and a spark and another big passing play, and now they're down in field goal range.
Christian and Maurice Smith in the backfield. Chandler throws a deep ball, has single coverage, into the end zone, incomplete. Had a good look at Finneran. And somehow Nate Clements recovered. Good burst of speed by the rookie.
Now Finneran's a young receiver. He will learn not to look back so soon because Clements knows that ball's coming, and it's when he telegraphs it, Finneran does, and he puts his hands up too early. So Finneran sees the ball's coming, he's watching the hands go up, and now Clements' hands go up. What Finneran needs to learn is to look late and put his hands up late so he doesn't telegraph it to the man coverage corner.
Finneran, 2 years out of Villanova. Second down, near sideline, Mathis, and reaches to the 27-yard line. Winfield, and wrapped him up. And Trevor, going back to this playoff picture, what has to happen? Atlanta's got to win out. Very simple. Very simple. Tampa Bay, New Orleans playing right now, and Tampa Bay has that lead against the Saints by 20. And the Giants also in this playoff picture, leading Seattle by 14-10. Giants have come back to take the lead.
Giants need to lose one of the next three. New Orleans and Tampa each need to lose two of the next three. So one of them's going to lose today. But the Falcons need to have that happen, and they need to win out. That's their playoff scenario.
Most important point, Atlanta's got to win out. Flags are down. Pressure is on, and down goes Chandler at the 36. Newman, the strong side linebacker.
Now this is going to be called back.
Defense, offside, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
That's Kendrick Office. The problem is that Chandler took the hit. Even though they're going to get the 5 yards in the first down, he took another hit. Keith Newman's going to be the guy that's going to come in to hit him. But even with the 5-yard penalty, Chandler still takes the pounding. He hits the turf, he gets back up off the turf, and that blitz worked like they planned it. Coach is upset because nullified by the guy jumping.
First down at the 22. Mathis goes in motion. A pump. Off the fingertips, incomplete. Well, they had the post pattern as Mathis had a half a step on Winfield.
He had a half a step, but boy, it was the wrong half a step. He's going to pump off to his right. That's not there. He turns back, and the problem is that Winfield is too close. So the ball, with its trajectory, carries too far. You see Rayon Hill there, same thing. It forced Chandler to throw the ball a little too high to clear those guys.
Second down and 10. Christian, the lone back. 4 wide receivers for Atlanta. Quick throw, incomplete to the near side. He wanted Sean Jefferson, and maybe some confusion, Trevor, on that route.
Well, some confusion, but I think it's a nod to the blitzing of Buffalo's defense that they're throwing this pass short right now, because they were expecting. Look at Jerry Gray, defensive coordinator, again another guy that Greg Williams brought over from Tennessee. You know, he's calling all these blitzes, and he's calling it on second and long. And so that time, second and long, what did Atlanta do? They went with a short 3-step drop and got the ball out. That means they're really worried about those blitzes.
Third down and 10. Atlanta 4 of 6 today on third down. Throws to the middle of the field and is caught. Jefferson at the 14. He'll be short of the first down. Knocked down by Winfield and Foreman.
You know what? At least Atlanta on this play, they don't get the first down, but at least they figured out how to pick up Rayon Hill on the blind side. Rayon Hill's going to come blitzing through here, and fullback Bob Christian's waiting for him. Now that's the play the series before that Rayon Hill caused the fumble that Brandon Spoon intercepted in the air and scored a touchdown. So at least Atlanta, Craig, figured it out and made an adjustment.
How about this? Feely, a spectacular season, but all 7 misses right here in the dome. This will be from 33 yards. And finally, Feely connects on his home turf. Officially 32 yards. And a timeout at the Georgia Dome. Buffalo 14, Atlanta 13.
Howie, what's a good gift to get for somebody you really care about? Football tickets.
No. Something you get more use out of.
Season tickets.
Something from the heart.
Luxury suite.
Oh, no!
No, Howie, it's a free Nokia phone from Verizon Wireless, just in time for the holidays, so it makes a great gift.
And football tickets.
Now at Radio Shack, get a free Nokia 5100 series phone after instant rebate. Plus, get 3,500 minutes for only $35 monthly access. Radio Shack.
Buffalo 14, Atlanta 13, 2:28 left before we get to halftime. And Feely connects Trevor from 32 yards out.
You know, I like what he does after he makes a field goal. You know, he acts like he's done it before, and he'll do it again.
Last week, a week ago Saturday, Arizona's Bill Gramatica. First field goal of the day, folks, against the Giants, and he's celebrating, makes that high jump, comes down, and tore ACL.
My goodness.
Out for the season.
For all the people that like to pick on kickers and think they're a little odd, a little flaky, that adds such a brilliant chapter.
Short kick at the 6-yard line. Avion Black. Well, those pads are popping. 19-yard line. Buffalo had 9 plays, 68 yards in about a 4-minute drive.
And now Alex Van Pelt has an opportunity to show us his command of this offense. He knew it coming in because he had run it in the past, knew it much better than Rob Johnson did. Now that Johnson's out with a broken collarbone, these are the kinds of situations where that knowledge of the offense really helps. They've got a shot now with 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go down and expand this lead.
An update on Johnson, by the way, threw light this week. Full motion, by the way, as Greg Williams told us. Passing about 15 yards a throw. Van Pelt fires a dart complete at the 29-yard line. Reggie Germany, a rookie out of Ohio State, with the reception.
And now Van Pelt managing this 2-minute drill. Trying to get a play off before the 2-minute warning in 4 seconds.
Gets the play off, and boy, barely got the ball into the hands of Bryson.
They wish now they hadn't done that.
That's a 2-minute warning.
Dronette crashed through to make the tackle, and the 2-minute warning. 1:56 left in the half. We'll be back to the Georgia Dome.
This is a message from America to the extraordinary men and women who are serving their nation during this holiday season. From the folks back home.
You guys are the true heroes. And from all my people, my family at home in San Diego, we really appreciate you guys over there.
America says thank you.
Tonight on CBS, the only thing Professor Max Bickford loves more than teaching is inspiring his own kids. CBS invites you to see television at its best. The education of Max Bickford tonight on CBS.
Rob Johnson broke his right collarbone in 3 places. He says he won't be able to come back even for the final game on January 6th. The Bills would like to see him back so he can get some more experience in this offense. But before the game, I went down and shook his hand, and he reached out with his left hand.
Interesting.
Which tells you that his right hand is still, or right collarbone is still very tender.
But Trevor, you bring up the point. Greg Williams, the most important thing he told us, health. I want to see Rob Johnson healthy. And you went ahead and made this question. I mean, is that because of you want to see him one more time before you have to make a decision about a quarterback for Buffalo?
That's part of it. They want to know if he's the guy for next year. The other part of it is if he is the guy for next year, every game he gets experience in this new offense, which normally takes a couple of years for a quarterback to really get down, will be helpful for next season.
Looks like Rob just rolled out the cot from the locker room, doesn't it? Van Pelt sets and throws incomplete. And that's a rare miss by Riemersma. A sure-handed tight end that you got to elevate as one of the best in the National Football League. Tony Gonzalez also mentioned that same breath in Kansas City.
Well, he didn't drop that because Van Pelt gunned it in there like Michael Vick would have, or Rob Johnson. He doesn't have that kind of arm. But Rob, see there, he just patted his friend who was on his right side. He reached across and patted him with his left hand. And so that tells you that he is, you know, it's very tender. And the coach would like to see him back for the 6th, but he says there's just no way.
High hanging punt. Gordon back at the 22-yard line, heads far side. Oh! What a block! Gordon picked up and is hit and dropped at the 41-yard line. Quincy McCord.
McCord just welcomes Prelo to Atlanta. Oh, that's what, you don't get those. I played special teams for a lot of my career in addition to other things. You don't get a shot like this but once every 4 or 5 seasons. Take them, right? 23, boom! Oh, man. The first thing that hit was the back of his head. It's one thing to get knocked on your back. It's another thing where the back of your head's the first thing. 23, right there, back of his head is the first thing that hits.
52-yard kick, a 19-yard return.
Quentin McCord will get another one of those in another 8 years.
Chandler to the sideline. Out of bounds at the 49. That's Finneran with the reception. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Make sure you stick around. Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry, all the scores, all the highlights. We'll update you, of course, about the playoff situations around the league. Plus a report from the Cleveland Green Bay game that's coming up. Second game of our doubleheader here on CBS.
Yeah, they're still talking about that big hit. They're describing it. Gordon was the beneficiary of that. Boy, players know that that's unusual.
Buffalo sends some pressure. Chandler up over the middle, and it's caught. Kozlowski breaks it at the 10 and dropped at the 8-yard line by Winfield. Greg Williams told us that Chris Chandler has one of the prettiest, best long balls in the National Football League.
And that was as pretty as they come. They get the tight end up the middle. Take a look at 85, bottom of your screen. When he catches this, 3 Bills are going to hit him, and all 3 are going to end up on the ground. And then he goes on, and Winfield's able to save the touchdown. But I mean, that's a big, powerful tight end who often plays fullback for them in their offense. He's a very thick guy. As we see him limping, it'll hurt to lose him because, you know, he's the 8th different receiver that Chandler has hit so far today. And you saw his power as he knocked 3 guys down and broke that tackle to continue with the run after the catch. Actually 9 that have caught a pass.
That was a 43-yard gain. Chandler in this half, 15 of 22 for 217 yards.
He's a thick guy. He's only about 6'2". He's about 255. And again, he's built like a fullback, even though he plays tight end. So they play him at fullback a lot. That's how he can shake off 3 different defenders breaking that tackle.
Atlanta first and goal at the 8-yard line. Double tight set with Kelly and Crumpler. Maurice Smith, the ball carrier, and very little. Well, this crowd shooting out some boos.
Well, the crowd's been disappointed. I mean, since 1966, the Falcons haven't had back-to-back winning seasons. And so, you know, they're used to seeing the Falcons not do well, and that's the change of attitude that needs to happen for them to be able to perform consistently. And that change of attitude in the fans won't happen unless the players get it down first.
Second down and goal. Under a minute left in this opening half. Mathis in motion. Split backfield. Chandler looks one way, throws the other. Bad throw, and it's picked. Bad throw. Clements, the rookie. Second interception of the day by the Bills secondary.
Tony Martin, the veteran, working on the rookie Clemens. Chandler's looking to his right, and Martin doesn't even think that the ball's going to be thrown his way. You can see him at the end looking back at Chandler thinking, what on earth were you thinking throwing the ball to me? Chandler just thought that Martin, as the veteran, would be able to go up and take the ball away from Clements, but no such luck. As you look at the development of this young defense, however, after Atlanta took over the momentum, got down in scoring position on a 2-minute drill, less than a minute to go in the half, they come up with a big interception in the end zone. That means so much to a young developing team.
Second career interception for Clements. Ran his first one back for a touchdown when he picked off Peyton Manning back in late September. Bryson, the ball carrier, up to around the 23-yard line.
And you know, 2 things have happened in this first half. to help Buffalo so much. When the Falcons scored on their first drive, Buffalo came right back and answered with a touchdown. And then the last drive of the half, Falcons threatening, Buffalo, big interception in the end zone. This team is a different team than it was the first month of the season.
Well, incredible ending to this first half as Atlanta was on the door, on the front porch, nearly kicked the door down, but the rookie, Nick Clements, picked off a bad throw by Chris Chandler. Maurice Smith started the scoring, 1-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0, as you mentioned. Bryson comes right back to score 15 yards out. Feely hit one from 35 to make it 10-7 after the first quarter. Spoon, the middle linebacker, intercepted Chandler and ran it back for a touchdown. And then Feely connects from 32 yards out on a field goal. 14-13 at the half here at the Georgia Dome. Buffalo and Atlanta.
Inside.
This is Tony McGee of the Cincinnati Bengals. Tony helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting after-school programs for kids. For kids.
Bengals in the house, baby. Bengals in the house. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Your mom coming to get you?
Tony McGee. One big kid.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
And welcome to the Nextel Halftime Report. Jim Nance from our Fifth Avenue studios. Mike Ditka, Randy Cross, Jerry Glanville chomping at the bit, ready to update you on
I got some highlights.
Scores. You got a lot of good
I got highlights.
Too. People will not be let down by you. I know that. 17 at all. 17-17 Seattle and the Giants.
Just about what we expected. We thought Sean Alexander would have a big day running the football, and he did. Took this one early, cut off the left side, broke it outside.
Get your giddy up,
yards for a touchdown.
Giddy up.
I like this guy. I tell you what, the Giants hung in there. They got a touchdown from Dame, and then the defense went to work. Michael Barrow gets away, knocks the ball out of Hasselback's hands, picked up by Michael Strahan. He takes it.
Watch his lower shoulder. That shoulder.
Touchdown's good for 2 seconds. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. They come right back. Kerry Collins gets the ball. He's tripped by defensive tackle. Antonio Cochran.
John Randall.
Fell on the ball. He's on the goose. About a goose for the gander.
San Diego and Kansas City are tied, but Todd Peterson, as we speak, is lining up for a field goal. 10:26 to go. They're in the third quarter. They're good rushing numbers on each side.
Well, Priest Holmes got the ball first and made things look.
Hey, that's a penalty.
Came back in most states.
He'll be fine.
But what the running game has done is it gave both quarterbacks an opportunity to throw short passes. Trent Green there to Dunn, sets up their touchdown, and Doug Flutie gets a nice quick pass to Freddie Jones for the Chargers. It's tough, it's physical, it's weather. It means late in the game there's going to be a big break.
And Peterson made that kick I spoke of, 33 yards out for the lead. Ravens have picked Kitna twice. Perhaps today they'll get that elusive first shutout of the season. They had 4 last year, their Super Bowl winning season. Jerry, here's your information time.
Oh, watch Spikes. Watch Spikes. He's after Shannon Sharp. Plays over, pushing ahead. Shannon Sharp gets up, talks about his mama. Oh, they don't like each other. Hell yeah. And here's a big sack. Ooh, I like that.
Darrell
Williams sacking like Elvis. And here he is. We talked about him. Terry Allen. He's old. He's got bad knees, but he still runs like he's at Clemson. And this is picked off by your favorite linebacker, Ray Lewis. Pitch it lateral. Don't hang on to it. Should have given it to a fast guy.
It set up a Stover field goal on the last play of the first half, 13-0. Lions and the Steelers, and without the bus, they put up 27 in the first half. Cordell Sharp here today, Mike.
Talked about it in the pregame show. Cordell Stewart's going to burn this defense, and he has done it already for 2 days.
Vikings without Todd Baumann. He went out real early in this game, re-aggravating a thumb injury. Spurgeon Wynn has come in. He's played well, but Jacksonville's offense has not been stopped.
The win was 11 of 12. That's why they have any yards, because early, right here off of Brackens, is why Todd Baumann's thumb went out. That's why Spurgeon Wynn came in the game. And then it came down to what Jerry talks about in the pregame show. Stacey Mack, take the pressure off Brunell. You do that, he can throw the ball down the field. But Spurgeon Wynn is comfortable. He's getting into the groove. And when you're a Viking quarterback, you're getting into the groove. Yeah, that's the groover right there.
Mike Ditka's favorite player.
Love him, hate him. Yeah, mostly hate him, but he's a heck of a talent.
Chicago, Leon Johnson scores their touchdown. Stephen Davis for the Redskins, 10 up, halftime.
You see the rushing numbers right there. Anthony Thomas, He had a good rush, but I tell you, Stephen Davis is running very well.
The St. Brooks has been intercepted three times. Two of them by Rondé Barber. New Orleans manages a meager 30 yards in the first half. Ricky Williams, 5 carries, 7 yards. It's all. It's embarrassing.
Fake the field goal, then fake the game.
And the Bills lead at Atlanta as the Falcons have lost 3 in a row. Van Pelt only 38 yards passing. Chandler, hot numbers, over 200, but he's been picked twice. Rams, Kroll catching one from Warner. Falk run it from 4 yards out. And they also scored on a botched field goal try by the Carolina Panthers. Ran it back the other way. All right, our doubleheader game today. Green Bay looks to qualify for the playoffs. They're in if they win against the Browns. And for more on that matchup, here are the men who will call the action for you from Lambeau Field. Dick Enberg and Dan Deerdorf.
Jim, here in Green Bay, winter has arrived, but the coals are hot and the bratwursts are on the grill. Cleveland Browns are young and enthusiastic. They lead the NFL with 29 interceptions. They're going to try to throw ice, Dan, on the Green Bay playoff party.
And they're going to hope to dump that ice directly onto the shoulders of Brett Favre, because he is the heart and soul of the Green Bay Packers. 3 times the MVP, and Dick, I think having a season that may qualify him for a 4th. And does he love it here in December at home? Look at these numbers: 40 touchdown passes, an 18-2 record here at Lambeau in December. Pretty gaudy.
Hall of Fame credentials.
Well, and absolutely, Dick, because there's no question he's going to be there. And today making his 155th consecutive start. Astounding.
Well, there's a reason to go to golf to see Tiger Woods or Wayne Gretzky, and hockey or Michael Jordan. You know, there's really a reason, even if you're not a Packer or Browns fan, just to come and see Favre.
I could not agree with you more. And for the Cleveland Browns, offensively, not much there. Defensively, they'll have to intercept Brett if they hope to win.
Always a party in Green Bay. Happy holidays to all of you in New York.
Thank you very much. Dick and Dan, look forward to their call. It's our doubleheader game later today on CBS. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
It's the night before Christmas. Get ready to laugh.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Halftime in Atlanta. Buffalo leads the Falcons 14-13. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
Vote for your favorite new drama at CBS.com and watch The People's Choice Sunday, January 13th.
Happy holidays from your friends at Miller.
Hi, honey. Oh, you know, we had a huddle. Manning says they're throwing at Harrison. Every time. Peyton to Marvin. Peyton to Marvin.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Ray Lewis is on my back all day. Coach keeps yelling at me, quoting Lombardi every 2 minutes. It's all politics around here. I gotta go.
NFL Fever 2002. It's a living. Rated E for everyone.
Introducing the best America Online ever. New version 7.0. It's better, faster, and easier.
It's like a click and you're connected.
7.0 is fast.
It's got all the new features. It's just so easy.
All new AOL version 7.0. Welcome. It's everything you love about America Online. You've got mail. Now with cool new features and places to go.
I'm falling in love with the new features. 7.0 is the best. Don't be a chicken, it's easy.
America Online, new version 7.0. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
Bob's life is sad. He works in advertising. He records his programs with Ultimate TV and then skips right to the commercials.
Wow, I really can feel the tingling.
It's great. He has no interest in programs. Global national insurance. Just ads.
Yep, quilted is better.
You being more normal might skip something different.
It tastes good and it keeps me regular.
That's my idea.
Embrace digitally recorded television with Ultimate TV from Microsoft.
NFL Sunday Ticket is brought to you in part by America Online.
Buffalo leads Atlanta by 1 at the half. Craig Bolerjack back along with Trevor Matich. You saw Buffalo's defense a little shaky to start. Atlanta marched down. Trevor got the touchdown. But how about the 2 picks they've taken away from Chandler?
Yeah, Buffalo's defense so young but becoming so opportunistic. The interception in the end zone at the end of the half stopped a possible touchdown, certainly a field goal. Here you've got a fumble that's forced by a blitz by Rayon Hill, pops into the air, and it lands right in the hands of linebacker Brandon Spoon, and that's a direct touchdown. This Buffalo defense is very impressive at this time of year. This is Nate Clement, the rookie cornerback, going against the old grizzled veteran, and Tony Martin. He just waits for the ball, goes up, and pulls it down and makes it look easy.
And Trevor, that's a throw that Chandler, being around as long as he has in this league, 14 years, you just throw that one away.
Well, Chandler didn't expect Clemens to be able to out-jump Tony Martin for it, but Clemens had perfect position.
Chris Watson returns. Buffalo breaks a tackle at the 35. And Feely had to make the stop.
Well, listen, he didn't get hurt. Grammatica gets hurt, and he didn't do anything but jump.
We look at the halftime numbers and look at the rushing yards.
And this is crazy. I mean, the rushing yards is one thing, but look at time of possession down here as well. They have 4 times the rushing yards and half the time of possession.
All that without their man, Travis Henry, out with a knee sprain. But Larry Centers, don't forget, ripped off a big one, his career longest 50, to help pad that a little bit.
And Sean Bryson has ripped off some nice long runs as well.
Van Pelt starts the third quarter, and just like we started this game, flags.
Well, Corey Holsey is in a right guard now for Jerry Ostrowski. Looks like he jumped. Yeah. False start, number 71, offense. There we go.
71.
There we go.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
I thought I'd help him out there.
Very nice.
Well, penalties have been a problem for Buffalo all year. 4th most in the NFL, and you look at that record, 2-11. As a matter of fact, look one above them, St. Louis at 11-2. That's when you've got a veteran offense that can put up, 40 points a game on anybody. Buffalo can't do that yet.
Already 7 flags. Just seconds into the third quarter. Bryson starts to the near side, works his way outside. But look at the power that Sean Bryson packs on that 6'1", 235-pound frame. McBurrow's a strong safety. With help, makes the stop.
And Bryson doesn't even start. Travis Henry is a better inside runner. He's got a better ability to drag tacklers on inside runs. But Bryson's strong too. He's their biggest back, and he's much faster than Travis Henry. And so you think that you'd have an advantage as a defense when the starting running back is out. Well, this backup can start for a lot of teams.
Bryson, a 3rd-round pick out of Tennessee back in '99. 2nd down. Van Pelt up and over, incomplete. He wanted Reeversma out of Michigan. Keith Brooking was back for Atlanta.
And this is the nature of this kind of a defense. Keith Brooking is underneath Reemersma. That means Van Pelt can't drill the ball. He's got to throw it up and over. But when you put air into the ball that way, it gives the safeties time to come over and pick it. So Van Pelt threw it with a more juice on it, so that he knew it would be incomplete, but at least the safeties wouldn't have time to pick it off.
Van Pelt's numbers not all impressive, but yet they've had a good ground game this afternoon, and they lead by 1, 14-13. See Buffalo 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. They bring some pressure. They throw incomplete. Reemersma in the vicinity. And so punting situation up for Buffalo.
Well, the guy coming after Van Pelt that time was Keith Brooking, and he jumped over the block of Larry Centers. Larry Centers just whipped on him, and so Van Pelt did a good thing to throw that thing away. I'm surprised that he isn't bleeding. Normally Keith Brooking has a cut on his nose that just opens up at the beginning of every game, and so far, yeah, it hasn't opened up, but that's a scary look for a quarterback to see coming up the middle.
Mormon will kick away. Good high hanger. Fair catch signaled at the 15, and now flags fly. Darian Gordon called for the fair catch, but flags at the 21. 45-yard kick off the foot of Mormon.
Well, that's Sean Jefferson. He's going to be called for illegal contact clip. He hit him in the back, the gunner, as he came down. And on a fair catch, that's just not necessary.
Here comes Michael Vick. So the 2 interceptions thrown by Chandler. He's on the sideline, and the rookie from Virginia Tech, Michael Vick, will start this second half.
You know, I've got to think that that Chandler may be a bit loopy, because down by 1 point, having got the feel for the game, you don't pull him at halftime. I've got to think that there might be something wrong with him.
Understand, IVs were taken by Chris Chandler at the half.
And part of the problem is how complex this offense is. You know, if he's sick and he can't go, then you got to get him out and give Michael Vick a chance. But they've got to really simplify the offense for Vick, because it is incredibly complex.
Well, you bring up a point, too. I mean, this is about the playoffs. I mean, Atlanta's still in the hunt. It may be slim chances, but this is an opportunity, a win today, and Atlanta at least keeps some hopes alive.
That's right. And for Chandler to not be in there now means that something must be seriously wrong with him, because he is the NFL's top-rated quarterback in the fourth quarter and near the top in the second half.
While the ball was in the air during the kick, we had a personal foul, 15-yard face mask on the kicking team, number 84. That's a 15-yard penalty from where they snapped the ball, and they'll re-kick.
Now that's Sean Jefferson. And they were talking about where it would be assessed. In other words, would it be assessed from the spot of the fair catch, or would they assess it against the punting team and make it kick it over?
You saw Chandler, who was, as you said, woozy. I like that, by the way, that definition. Has the helmet back on. And he's warming up. And don't forget, game 2 of the doubleheader coming up next year on CBS. Cleveland at Green Bay. And the playoff picture still will be to be worked out there.
Go!
Mormon again with a kick, and another high hanging punt. Gordon at the 22-yard line. Gordon trying to feel his way and then taken down to the 25-yard line. Good special teams tackle by number 51, Deshaun Polk. 54-yard kick. Only a 3-yard return. Looks like Chandler's going to make a return after this.
And Chandler is back in. It's a very complicated offense that they're running, and they don't want to have to simplify it this early in the second half.
Well, Vick got a roar of cheers when he came off the bench, and then when that penalty was called, Chandler seemed like he gathered himself a bit, snapped on the helmet, loosened up a bit, and to a chorus of boos returned. Down by 1. Handoff, Maurice Smith at the 29-yard line.
And you know, when you talk about how complex this offense is, this is one play. Ace right, trip bunch, X opposite, M-Ron, 87-67, X post read, backs out. Now that's actually very simple for the rest of the offensive players. As we look at George Sefik, the offensive coordinator, because every guy is told what to do here, but it's super complex for the quarterback, because the quarterback has to know what every single person does and tell him what to do, and then execute it against whatever defensive variation comes up.
And then take the snap and get the play off within 3 seconds. Sounds simple. Second down, 6. Christian in motion. They pitch. Mo Smith. He is strung out. Slips a tackle, and boy, those pads still pop at the 29.
Now here's what I mean by everybody is told what to do. Ace right, trip bunch is the formation. X opposite's the motion. M-Ron is the only thing the offensive line listens to. That's the protection. Ron means they slide to the right. 87 and 67 mean both wideouts run a 7 route. That's a corner. X post means that the slot guy runs a post pattern, and the backs out, that means they go out as well. Each guy is told what to do. Each guy only needs to know their little word in that long sentence, but the quarterback needs to know it all. That's why Michael Vick isn't ready for it yet.
Mathis in motion as Chandler woozy back in that shotgun, throws near side. Mathis has it bumped out at the 46-yard line. Chandler just, I tell you, that was a throw. Okay, he can do that in his sleep. You look at those eyes and the way he's hanging that head, not at 100%, maybe 50 right now. Look at those eyes.
You know, and where he needs to be sharp especially is mentally. Physically, the muscle memory will take over. It's the mental part of it. You know, he just throws the ball. It's a nice, easy throw, nice, easy catch. But one of the great things that Chandler brings to this offense, Craig, is that the guy is brilliant. I mean, he's an actual certified genius. And he knows every single nuance of this offense as a reaction. He doesn't have to think about it.
The pitch to Rodney Thomas to the 49 of Buffalo. Frelo, the strong safety, made the tackle.
Chandler has a photographic memory. I mean, he gets a game plan with 80 plays for this week's defensive schemes on Wednesday morning. And by practice at 2 o'clock, he's got it down. He knows what formations need to be run out of. He knows what the nuances are going to be. And all of a sudden, he's out there coaching the rest of the team in practice as to how to run it. Michael Vick came out after his sophomore season at Virginia Tech. This is all very complex to him. He's not ready to do that at that scale yet. And that's not his fault. It's a matter of time.
2nd down and 6. 5-step drop. Chandler continues to float back. Throws complete. Christian is fullback to the 44-yard line. Keith Newman, the linebacker, chased him down. You know, you bring up a point too. Chandler in our discussions said, you know what, Mike Vick can just stick around and watch and learn. You know what, no matter what, 20 years of age, he'll still play 15 years after I'm done.
He will. And you know what? He wants to play now, but the best thing that ever happened to Steve Young with the 49ers was that he sat behind Joe Montana for several years after he was ready to be a starter, before he finally did become a starter. And when he was ready to start, he didn't have the rookie mistakes.
3rd down and 1 at the 45. Atlanta down 1. Thomas in a crowd, 1st down and more to the 43-yard line. Rodney Thomas, 7-year pro out of Texas A&M. Only had 12 carries coming in to today's game.
Well, Maurice Smith, who's actually filling in for Jamal Anderson, told me in the locker room on Friday that he was only at about 85% with that knee and with that ankle, and he will have knee surgery. He's playing now, Maurice Smith, on a knee that requires surgery now. He will play on it through the pain until the offseason.
4 carries for Thomas, 13 yards. His 5th carry, turns the corner and hurdles up over the 35-yard line. Boy, he wanted the 1st down. And for an update on Seattle and the New York Giants, back to New York, here's Jim Nantz.
All right, Bowler, the Giants fumbled the 2nd half kickoff. Ron Dixon coughs it up, and the Seahawks convert. Sean Alexander, 17-yard touchdown pass for the lead. 3rd quarter. Let's go back to Craig and Trevor.
That's big for the Falcons. One thing that needs to happen is the Giants need to lose 1 of the next 3. If Seattle beats the Giants today, they can tick off that 1 requirement.
And Atlanta has to win out to have any shot at a playoff. Reggie Kelly, the tight end, in motion. Play action. They throw to the flat. Nice catch on the fingertip. Christian. And the fullback near a 1st down to the 33-yard line. Brandon Spoon strung it out, the middle linebacker. Christian, a question mark with a calf injury. You know, he's just a modest type of guy with a t-shirt and jeans, and you look at the scoreboard as we continue to watch. You got the update from Jim Nantz. Seattle now 24-17, 3rd quarter, and Tampa Bay just walking over the Saints. The Saints finally on the board, and it's 30-7. Those games being watched here closely by Atlanta. 3rd down and short. Thomas off the left side, 1st down at the 30.
Rayon Hill. Rayon Hill. Face mask to face mask with Rodney Thomas that time. I'll tell you, this defensive backfield of Buffalo will come up and drill you. The 2 biggest hits of last week's game against the Patriots. Remember, Nate Clemens knocked the helmet clean off of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The quarterback, clean off his head. As a matter of fact, he hit him so hard, he told us that he thought he might get fined for it. He was looking at his mailbox on Tuesday for a letter that never came.
That was, he was just a bright-eyed rookie talking about that hit, wasn't he, Trevor? Yeah, he had to check it on Tuesday. Thomas cuts up the middle to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is the hit on Tom Brady. Now, this is a legal, clean hit, but look at the helmet of Brady. It comes right off. And Brady pops up, but he's lucky that nothing else made contact with his head, because when your helmet is off, there are other helmets flying by you. There are knees and cleats flying by you. And with no helmet, if anything touches you, it's going to rip something off of your head, your nose, your ear, something. And he's lucky he didn't get touched. But what an absolute, by a quarterback, a huge hit.
Brady and the Patriots winning again yesterday against Miami by a touchdown. Thomas lowers the pads, not much, at the 25-yard line.
Now here's why all this is relevant, Craig, right now. Because at this point, once again, Atlanta is down, threatening to get into field goal position, threatening to score. And what's Buffalo doing? They are attacking that line of scrimmage. Those young, enthusiastic players are flying up there and drilling blockers and moving the line of scrimmage back and coming up in support and taking out pulling offensive linemen. And right now, Atlanta does not have an answer for that aggression.
On this drive, Atlanta 3 of 3 on third down conversions. 12th play of this drive. Chandler, deep drop. Has the man wide open, end zone, incomplete. Terrence Mathis had the step, had to wait momentarily on the ball, and they gave Antoine Winfield just time enough to play catch up.
That's one of the most difficult things Mathis on the inside for a cornerback to do, is cover that much space on a slot receiver that had all that room to the sideline. And he is right there to force Terrence Mathis to miss that catch. Young defensive backs, they can hit you, but they can also cover. And the key to the style of defense that Greg Williams had at Tennessee and that he has here is 2 clamp down cover corners. They have them.
43-yard attempt by Thiele. And he connects his 3rd field goal of the day. One from 35, another from 32, this one from 43. And the Atlanta Falcons edge in front of Buffalo, 16-14.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done. Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave guaranteed. Put it to the test. And by Selsun Blue Shampoo, to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signals.
For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to CBS.sportsline.com or America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. 13 plays, they go 50 yards, and they chew 7.5 minutes off the clock. Thiele connects for his 3rd field goal from 43 yards. Avion Black at the 5, Black at the 20. Black pops through at the 25. And Avion Black, nice return to the 32-yard line. Timeout at the Georgia Dome. Happy holidays. Atlanta by 2.
From across the nation, young people gather to share their one shining moment, the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS Sports.
Trevor, here's the NFL.com question. Which stadium would be the toughest place for a road team to win a conference championship game? You pick it. Pittsburgh, Oakland, tough. Miami, Green Bay, San Francisco, Philly. Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
Both of those for totally different reasons. Reasons are the frozen tundra in Green Bay and that darn offense with the Rams.
Somebody like Warner and Falk, huh? Bryson, big hole. Bryson makes a cut. Sean. Bryson. Popped out. No signal. Now they come in late. Touchdown. 68 yards. What a cut at midfield.
There's Mom.
The ball crossed the line on the goal line for a touchdown.
Look at the burst of speed. Number 33 is going to chase him. That's Ashley Ambrose. He comes into your picture on the right of the screen. Ambrose is a cornerback, and he still can barely catch up over the last 50 yards of this run with Sean Bryson. What kind of speed does this 235-pound tailback have?
A 68-yard run, his longest of his career, and that puts him over 120 yards. First 100-yard game of his career, and he does it here at the Georgia Dome 2 days before Christmas.
And the Bills, they want 2.
Well, they want 2 because that gives them a 22-16 lead. Otherwise, that's a 6-point instead of a 5-point.
Well, they spread the field with 4 wide receivers. Van Pelt under center. Throws, picked.
Yeah, no reason to go back. On an extra point, 2-point conversion or kick, the defense can never score. There's never a scenario by which they can score.
Ashley Ambrose stepped in front, so it's 20-16. Buffalo, a 68-yard touchdown by Bryson.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. And by Honda. This holiday, it's gifts that go time on motorcycles and ATVs at your Honda dealer.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Inside, Sean Bryson, 68-yard touchdown run, career long. He's gone over 100 yards for the first time in his career. And there is mom, Susie. He brought a lot of family, in fact, here to Atlanta. Short kick at the 15. Derek Vaughn tripped up around the 27 and flags fly. Flags down the sideline at the 25.
Greg, Buffalo answered a Falcons score, a field goal, with a touchdown of their own. The maturation of a young team, learning how to win in the NFL. And teams that win close games answer a score with a score. One of the things that Greg Williams wanted to make sure happened this year was, even though they're 2-11 and out of the playoffs, was that they finished strong.
Illegal block in the back during the return. Number 35, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's John Dale Carty.
You know, long runs, nothing new to Sean Bryson. He rips off one here, 68 yards. I want to turn the table back to November 24th, 1986. Sports Illustrated. There he is, Trevor, faces in the crowd.
And take a look. He played for the Termites. He's 9 years old. And look at these touchdown runs. 20, 33, 45, 48 yards. He's used to ripping off long runs. How do you think he got in shape? He started running long touchdown runs when he was at the age of 9. And there's his mom, Susie. Couldn't be more proud. Family down from Franklin, Tennessee.
Well, a 15-yard touchdown in the opening quarter for Bryson. And now a 68-yard touchdown here in the third. Rodney Thomas stopped and then starts, and a flag, a late flag thrown in at the 13-yard line.
Boy, the Falcons at this point now are behind with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They have a shot at the playoffs. The Giants are losing. That's one of the things that needs to happen.
Holding during the run, number 70. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
And that's Bob Whitfield. That's their veteran along that offensive line. But that's 2 consecutive major penalties that they've had. One on special teams and now here on the offense. Whitfield is left tackle. He's right here. Oh, yep, that's him. Yeah, he's working there on Eric Flowers. And yeah, he grabs him and pulls him and knocks him down. That's a very veteran thing to do, but the official caught him. You got even a more veteran official. But that is a critical thing. Now they're backed way up. This is do or die for the Falcons in the playoffs. This game.
First down, 16 at the 6-yard line. Quick throw, far sideline. Mathis is stopped at the 10. Winfield would not let him go.
Now the other problem you've got here, Craig, is this. If the Bills can hold them 3 and out here, and they have to punt from deep in their own territory, it is excellent field position for Buffalo's offense to come back and pad that lead. That's Jerry Gray, defensive coordinator. And right now, remember, it's 2nd and long. This is when he likes to blitz.
Chandler, just by his body language, you can tell, as he took fluids, as we reported at halftime, still not at 100% by a long shot. Quick drop, quick throw, and a nice pass in the seam to Jefferson. First down at the 25-yard line.
And Chandler mighty slow getting up.
Yeah, and the fact that he has to get up matters. As a player, you never help an opposing player get off the ground because it's hard. It takes energy for them to get back up. And so, yeah, Ron Edwards just gave him a push, and that could have been called. But now Chandler, who's already sick, has to take the energy to get up, and you know what? He got up slowly.
Well, he walks to the line slowly. 1st and 10, 27-yard line, 3:45 clock running left here in the 3rd quarter. Pedals back, dump off, far sideline. It's caught by the tight end Reggie Kelly, and that will stop the clock short of the 1st down at the 36-yard line. Deshaun Polk pushed him out.
Now already this drive, such as it is a success for Atlanta. Even if they do have to punt, at least they'll win the field position game, and there's still time in this game to play the field position game. But look at Chandler. When you're sick and you're walking around, your head bobs like that. I've been there. I know you've been there. And Chandler taking a knee in the huddle. He's not doing that so his guys can hear him. He's doing that because he needs to take a knee.
I think it takes some energy just to come off that knee, to be honest. 2nd down short. 35-yard line. Thomas. 1st down to the 39, and a good lean. Phil Hansen made the tackle. And Thomas getting most of the carries here. And you have to think, Trevor, that Maurice Smith, that knee and ankle causing some problems.
They are causing problems. He can't burst into the hole, and he has a lot of trouble still changing direction. There he's standing there, helmet on, hands on his hips. He wants to be in there, but physically his wheels are letting him down. And there's the man that ought to be. Lost in all this is that the very best player on the Falcons was lost for the season, Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, 2nd ACL injury suffered over the past 3 seasons. Not much. In fact, a couple of yards lost for Thomas back to the 36-yard line. And tonight, if you're on a nostalgic kick, so is 60 Minutes, and no one has more of it or does it better than they do. Starting tonight with Muhammad Ali, the greatest on 60 Minutes.
Well, there's a man, Muhammad Ali. What a massive personality.
Movie out now on Christmas Day about his life. 2nd down and 13. 2 wideouts near side. Mathis in motion. Chandler. 5-step drop over the middle. Has a man. Cody Martin. Martin at the 10. Touchdown Falcons. If that doesn't win some respect from this Falcon crowd, who Chandler's heard plenty of boos, goes 63 yards to Tony Martin.
He throws the nicest deep ball in the NFL. That's Greg Williams, Buffalo's head coach. Tony Martin comes inside between Clements and the safety Rayon Hill, right where he's supposed to be. And Chandler, who's thrown that ball to Martin so many times over the years, put it right where it needed to be.
Chandler on the bench after the 63-yard toss, and the extra point by Feely. Good. He stays perfect in point after attempts on the season. Chandler steps and fires. 3rd touchdown of the season for Martin. Well, Saturday, see the All-American icon known as Bear through the eyes of Joe Namath, Ken Stabler, Bo Jackson, more on the legend of Coach Paul Bear Bryant, a CBS Sports Special. And for more, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. The Bear. 23-20 Falcons. Feely kicks away a low line drive. At the goal line is Avion Black. Black at the 20, and that's where he will be dropped.
Well, this is blown coverage. Rayon Hill on the inside should have the inside receiver, Tony Martin, in the slot. Here's Rayon Hill. Or check, that's Nate Clements. Nate Clements should have this guy. Rayon Hill should have that guy. The problem is that Rayon Hill doesn't take the inside guy, so Nate Clements has to come over the top. And that's too late. So Rayon Hill got fooled by the motion and ended up taking the guy that ended up on the outside. he was supposed to have the inside guy in the slot. So it looked like Nate Clemens got beat on that play. Nate Clemens didn't. That was Rayon Hill took the wrong guy.
1:31 left, third quarter. Van Pelt pedals back, throws, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Moles. And that stops the clock with 1:26 left. That drive, by the way, 6 plays. They go 88 yards in less than 4 minutes. And Chandler, who you could see, woozy at best on that drive, 4 for 4. Trevor, 93 yards passing.
Yeah, woozy, but knowing where the problems in the defense are. He knew that that motion might cause a bit of a problem in man coverage because of the way the receivers crossed at the end. Would Michael Vick have known that? I don't know. That's why Chandler was in.
Sean Bryson, who ripped off a big touchdown last time Buffalo had the football, is dropped at the 20, no gain. And now the emotion, Brooking trying to fire up the Solana crowd. They've had problems putting bodies in the seats here at the Georgia Dome.
Well, you've got Corey Halsey, right guard, over there giving the referee the business. I mean, he was over there really yelling and making gestures and being all belligerent at the official.
After the play was over, personal foul for unnecessary roughness. Number 71 of the offense will go half the distance to the goal. Repeat second down.
Well, that's the second big penalty on Halsey, but Halsey thinks it was a bad call because offensive linemen don't go over and gesticulate to the referee. They want to rest. It takes too much energy to do that, so he really thinks it was a bad call on him. And, you know, whenever an offensive lineman is in a dispute with any other human being, you always side with the offensive lineman because they're invariably right.
And spoken like a true offensive lineman.
Thank you. The voice for oppressed offensive linemen everywhere. That's me. But now the Bills...
TrevorManich.com.
But the Bills, no, this jeopardized their ability. That's actually where it is. The Bills now, though, have jeopardized their ability to be able to answer the Falcons' last score with a score of their own. They're in a hole.
3 wide receivers. Moles and Price to the near side. Bryson alone back, pops through the hole. Still on his feet. Driven back at the 12-yard line. What is Falcon defense feeding? You can feel it, just feeding off this Falcon crowd.
And this Falcon crowd will grow. I mean, it'll get huge when the Falcons begin to string together winning seasons. And they're on the verge of doing that. They've got a good young base to this team mixed with veterans. Dan Reeves has got this team in a position where now they can finally string some things together if they can get an even break with injuries. And so, you know, the crowd, I think, has got to learn how to support the team because they haven't. But they will as the winning occurs.
And new ownership, possibly in the making. Mr. Arthur Blank, co-founder Home Depot. They have a gentleman's agreement. Nothing's been signed yet for the Falcons. Flags are down and they're going to stop play.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Jonas Jennings, he's a up-and-coming, bright young tackle.
9 seconds.
That's part of the crowd.
Thank you.
Jonas Jennings has to go against number 97, Patrick Kearney. He's got 10.5 sacks. And they're saying he moved. I didn't see where he moved. He did jerk up a little bit, but it was pretty subtle.
Boy, how about the man in red leading the cheers?
I think Santa's taking sides.
That's the 10th flag thrown against Buffalo. And that winds down the third quarter. Atlanta 23-20 over Buffalo. Playoffs so important. We'll return to the Georgia Dome right after these messages and a word from your local station.
See why Simon.
Now we start the fourth quarter here at the Georgia Dome. 23-20 Atlanta. And make sure you stick around. Game 2 of our doubleheader here on CBS. Cleveland taking on the Packers at Lambeau. Third down and 22 for Van Pelt from the 7-yard line. Steps up, flush from the pocket, throws, and caught on a knee is Peerless Price. He's been bothered with some ankle problems. Told us he's only 85%. Got an injured Bill down at the 1-yard line, but he's up.
Boy, that's Reuben Brown, their all-pro guard, and an offense that's had struggles with continuity and injuries. He's been a rock for him, and he's limping off the field.
Five-time Pro Bowler Reuben Brown. Now to Pittsburgh, a former #1 round pick back in '95. And Mormon is now into punt. Darian Gordon, explosive. Set to receive at the 35-yard line. Fair catch. Bobbled. And down at the 39. He caught it at the 37 and picked up 2 more on the fumble. A 39-yard punt. So Atlanta will have the football and the lead when we come back.
AOL keeps me closer to the people I love.
Everyone I know is on AOL.
I have a best friend that lives in Denver. With AOL, I talk to her every day.
We send pictures of our kids to their grandparents.
Oh, my grandpa loves AOL. He's on all the time.
Opening emails like Christmas. You know, you just never know what's coming.
Definitely keeps me connected to family and friends.
I mean, I'm even on my grandma's buddy list.
Am I on your buddy list?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
And 2001 with some fun in the sun. Purdue battles Jason Gesser and Washington State in the Wells Fargo Sun Bowl. It'll be a scorcher next Monday on CBS.
14 minutes away from at least another week in the playoff hunt. Craig Bolerjack back along with Trevor Manich. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome and happy holiday. How about this Atlanta defense? This team ranked 30th in the National Football League in total D. Pretty impressive in that third quarter.
Yeah, 30th in total D because they look great, they'll look great, and then give up a huge play. Then they'll look great again and give up another huge play. And so most of the yards that these guys give up don't come on grinded out. They come on giving up 50-yard runs, 60-yard passes.
Chandler, who directed that go-ahead touchdown, remains in the game at quarterback. Going to try to run some clock. Here comes Rodney Thomas, and he is upended. Big hit at the 46.
By who?
Oh, Nate Clements is getting a name around this league in a hurry. He is just popping guys and just getting up and shaking it off and walking back, doing it again.
You know, he's just a. They're going to have to change the nickname for Muhammad Ali in that movie. Floats like a butterfly and stinks like Nate Clements. He comes up and doesn't grab cloth and drag him down. He comes up and puts the wood to him. A little bitty corner. Woo-hoo. That's good.
5'11", 204-pounder, a rookie out of Ohio State. Thomas had to come off, and Maurice Smith checks in. Chandler throws to the flat to his fullback, Christian, and lunges for a first down at midfield. Jay Foreman, outside linebacker.
And look at him hanging
made the tackle. The best in the National Football League, Chris Chandler in the fourth quarter.
And you know something, right now he is, I don't know what percent he's playing at, but I know that he is dragging. It's everything he can do to keep his head up.
In that fourth quarter, Trevor, how about a 68% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, and only 2 picks. He's thrown a pair today, over 300 yards for the 7th time in his career. First down, Atlanta at the 50. Maurice Smith a yard, and somebody lost a hat.
And again, in the middle of the pile, I think it's Deshaun Polk, linebacker. Once again, when a helmet comes off, a lot of things happen to your head in the middle of that stuff that you don't even notice happens. I mean, somebody whacks it with a knee, they clip it with a foot, they clip it with an elbow, and it's a glancing blow that you don't notice because of the helmet. But if one of those things happens without the helmet, you know, it's a very scary thought.
Clock running. Under 12.5 left to play, fourth quarter. Second down and 9. Chandler, good protection, throws, it's caught. Down the sideline, walking home for the touchdown is Crumpler. What a turnaround by the Falcons here in the second half. 49 yards from Chandler to Algie Crumpler.
And Greg Williams, the unflappable guy, spiked something, clipboard or headset or something, hit the ground as soon as Rayon Hill missed that tackle. Boy, the Falcons If they want to be in the playoffs, they've got to prove they can win a tight game like this, and what a play this is. Algie Crumpler has abnormally long arms and massively huge hands, and Chandler threw the ball right out to where that extended reach was able to grab it.
Feely with the extra point, and it's up and good. Chandler now 385 yards, a career day. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. This one goes to Crumpler. We'll be back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Remington Microscreen 3 TCT Shaver. A totally close shave even on the tough spots. And by the Intel Pentium 4 processor. The center of your digital world.
Well, tonight on CBS, it's 60 Minutes, followed by the education of Max Bickford, and then the CBS Sunday movie, One Special Night. That's tonight right here on CBS. Ten-point Falcon lead. Feely the kick at the 5-yard line. Avion Black. Black stumbles and falls at the 17. And boy, this crowd and this Falcon special team's alive.
That's Travis Jervey. He's a crazy, psycho, crazy nutcase Tasmanian Devil special teamer. Yeah, you got to help Chris Watson up. I'll tell you, this guy went to the Pro Bowl with Green Bay as a special teamer a couple of years ago. I mean, Travis Jervey he's just out of control. You're going to see Algie Crumpler on the right side. It's man coverage with Rayon Hill. Chandler knows it's man coverage because pre-snap he looks and sees the entire defensive backfield to his left and only one guy to cover Crumpler. That's why he's in the game. He understands those nuances.
Van Pelt throws to the far side, incomplete. He had man coverage. Ambrose, who likes to stick to his receiver a little bit more than his partner over there, Ray Buchanan, who will take a chance.
Well, Ambrose is one of those guys that clamp down cover corner along with Ray Buchanan. And that's one of the reasons why it's a bit flummoxing why this defense has given up so many big plays. When you've got a pretty solid front seven, which they do, and 2 clamp down cover corners, you ought to be able to have a pretty stout defense, but they're ranked near the bottom of the league.
2nd down and 10. Van Pelt steps and throws. Underneath comes Sean Bryson. Bryson, far side. And to the 40-yard line. 1st down, big play. Bryson's made plenty today. McBurrows, the strong safety, chased him down. 23-yard pickup.
And this is why they're ranked among the bottom of the league, because they give up big plays like this.
Well, here you go. Atlanta's playoff hopes. They're doing what they must do, and that's win. They take care of business. That they continue to have a chance. We've been keeping an eye on New Orleans and Tampa Bay. The winner must lose the next 2. The winner has to lose only 1. And right now, Tampa Bay walking away with a 40-14 lead in the 4th quarter. Sammy Morris, the ball carrier, and he is met and dropped. 2nd-year pro out of Texas Tech.
Hit by Keith Brooking. Not a guy you want to get hit by. Keith Brooking is 2nd right now in the NFC Pro Bowl voting among the fans to Brian Urlacher of Chicago. And really, if the Falcons were doing better, he'd be a lot closer. Look at the blood on his nose. See, this happens all the time with this guy. He doesn't know why. It's just got a scar there that keeps opening up, but he loves it. It gets him fired up, and his teammates see blood on his face, and they get fired up.
Brooking started the day with 108 tackles. Van Pelt throws, connects. His safety valve, and guess who? Larry Sinners, 12 years in this league on a Stephen F. Austin.
And he gets hit by 3 guys back there. One of them, Keith Brooking. He's got 112 tackles for the year. He's the leading tackler on this team. That's one of the reasons the nose pops open. The problem is the helmet goes down. The helmet doesn't necessarily hit his nose, but it makes the skin stretch and stretch back and compress and stretch back, and that opens up an already weakened spot ever since college.
5 tackles on the day. 3rd down and short. Under 10 minutes left, and Buffalo down by 10. First down. They needed about a half yard. They got that and another.
Now with 9 minutes to go, they need 2 scores, Buffalo does, to either tie or to take the lead, down by 10 points. And so this drive is critical to them. They probably will only have 3 possessions, including this one, over the course of the rest of this game. So 2 of those 3, they need to pop either at least a touchdown and a field goal.
You're thinking about timeouts if needed. There's 3 left for both teams, and flags will stop play. Bryson popped up the middle.
Prior to snap, false start offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Boy, that's Jonas Jennings again.
He's a rookie out of Georgia.
Well, he's going to be a good player. He was bugged by injuries early in the year, and the coach is very high on this guy. Greg Williams told us that coming in, he knew he was a good player, but he didn't realize how special he was until he actually started to coach him.
11 flags against Buffalo for 90 yards. And now the clock working against the Bills, down 10. Bryson pops up the middle and picks up the 5 back to the 49 of Atlanta.
That's a nice run by Bryson.
Well, it comes up hobbling just a little bit.
You know, he's worked a lot today. He's had to do wind sprints, and he's had to have Keith Brooking bleed on him. You know, and that'll wear you down. Keep in mind that he had very few carries coming into this game, and so he's not in the kind of football shape that a running back would be in to carry that kind of load, so he's extra tired.
Sammy Morris back in. Draw. Morris stumbles and back to the line of scrimmage at the 49. Boy, one more step and some big yards for Sammy Morris.
That was a strong safety, Gerald McBurrows. He knifed in there and knocked him down. See, Don Blackman wants to be able to have that aggression. The problem is they get out of their gaps sometimes. There's just a little delay, and here comes number 22. And it was a real nice job of making him trip. Otherwise, you're right, it could have been a bigger play. But Don Blackman's a bit flummoxed. He knows he's got good players. The problem is that sometimes, you know, the blame has to go to the coordination, but other times the coordination is there, but players try to do too much and get out of their gap and give up a big play.
Bryson has returned the backfield along with Larry Sinners. Van Pelt steps up and throws in traffic, and a tough catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black jerseys and a first down. Peerless Price.
And what a huge first down. Peerless Price is the inside receiver. He's working on Derek Vaughn there, and then Vaughn lets him go into Keith Brooking, who thought he had an interception, but Peerless Price ducked in front of him. That was 3rd and 10. 6 minutes and 38 seconds to go. They need a touchdown and a field goal, and they'll have this drive and maybe 2 others to get it done. That's how big that conversion was.
Price has been hobbled with an ankle. He told us I'm about 85%. Hand off to Bryson, stopped after a 3-yard gain to the 34, and the tackle will go to Dronette.
Greg Williams told us that he likes to run the ball even this late in the game on first down and second down, so he can get shorter third down, so he can get a third down situation where they don't have to blitz. And 191 rushing yards, and some of those in very big chunks. It's worked for him, but they're getting down to the time area now where they're not going to be able to do it for much longer.
Under 6 minutes. Bryson out of the backfield, lines up near side. Van Pelt sets and throws wide open and takes a shot as Price inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Buffalo. He took a double whammy from Bradford and Buchanan.
And he'll take the whammy. This is another reason why this defense is struggling with pass coverage. The cornerback's locked down. In this case, Ray Buchanan's expecting help from the safety, Ronnie Bradford, and Bradford doesn't get over there in time. So again, it looks like Ray Buchanan got beat to the inside. He didn't. The safety was late.
3 wideouts lined up near side. They loaded up. Price now 4 catches for 67 yards. Bryson gets the carry and he stumbles to the 5.
And now we've just ticked under 5 minutes to go. Buffalo is in no hurry. They're moseying on back to the huddle. You know, if I were them, I'd be in a bit more urgency down here to save some time, because you don't want to take too large a score and then give Atlanta time to crank off a couple first downs and run out the clock.
12th play of this drive, 2nd and goal. Buffalo and Atlanta, all 3 timeouts remaining. Bryson in motion. And now movement and contact and flags.
And this one looked like Atlanta's defense jumped and caused the first movement.
Offense. Number 71, 5-yard.
Wow, Corey Halsey in for Jerry Ostrowski. Ostrowski broke his leg early in the season, came back several weeks ago and really solidified that O-line. But now he's out. And Halsey has been starting for Ostrowski, and it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing in there. He's going to be right here. Yep, he just jumps up. It looked like Atlanta jumped first into the neutral zone, but they didn't. They went on Halsey, and boy, I feel bad for the guy because he's got to be frustrated.
Boy, Greg Williams reviews this game no matter what the outcome. Look at the 12 flags for 95 yards. They just got the play off. They throw incomplete. Remersma, the intended receiver, Brooking was on his back. Well, they rode him down.
This is going to be a huge third down play here, because if they're forced to take a field goal here, then the next score has to be a touchdown. Whereas if they can get it into the end zone, all they need is to get a field goal to tie it if they can stop the Falcons. This third down play is critical for the way the rest of this game has to play out.
Well, they've chewed off nearly 8 minutes off the clock. As you look at Shane Graham, who may have to be called in here for a field goal. 3rd down and goal. Buffalo 4 of 9 today on 3rd down conversions. Van Pelt throws end zone, in traffic, incomplete. Sheldon Jackson, the intended receiver, and that brings up a field goal opportunity with 3:59 remaining.
And Ronnie Bradford, the guy who was late getting over on that last long pass that got him down into this position, made a great play to break up that potential touchdown pass.
A 28-yard field goal attempt by Graham. Kick is away. And through the uprights, 3:55 remaining in the 4th quarter. A touchdown separates Atlanta and Buffalo. Greg Bolerjack, Trevor Manich, Atlanta's playoff hopes still very much alive, up by 7. A win would put them even for the season at 7-7. And following the game, log on to NFL.com and get the latest updates on the playoff picture, as well as an analyst from the experts. It's all on at NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. Derek Vaughn hit at the 27. Well, this half for Chandler, 9 of 10. 168 yards and a pair of touchdowns. A 63-yarder to Martin, and he goes 49 to the tight end Crumpler.
Keep in mind that at halftime he had to take IVs because he was dehydrated, he was sick, and warming up to start the 3rd quarter was Michael Vick. And at the last second, they didn't put Michael Vick in. They put Chandler in to see if he could go a little more. And Chandler has absolutely risen to the occasion. And credit the offensive line. Knowing Buffalo was going to blitz, Buffalo seeing the blood in the water with Chandler being ill, these guys have stepped up and protected him to allow him to do it.
.346 left, 4th quarter. Atlanta by 7 over Buffalo.
And boy, for all of Chandler's heroics, credit that offensive line. Buffalo knows that Chandler came out of that locker room sick. He had IVs at halftime. Vic was about ready to go. Chandler went back in to give it another shot to see if physically he could hold up. Buffalo saw that blood in the water, came after Chandler, and the offensive line really stepped up for Atlanta to protect him. Michael Vick, they have to wait another week.
Oh, so much riding on this game. I mean, it's 3:46 away from playing another week with more a potential playoff berth for Atlanta.
The thing I like about this is that for the Falcons is that Buffalo is not giving up. They're playing hard. They want to win this game, and they have had the lead 3 or 4 times this game, the Bills have, and each time the Falcons have come back and taken the lead right back. That's a team that knows what's at stake.
Mathis and Martin split to the wide sides. And not much. Mo Smith dropped maybe a yard up around the 28-yard line.
Buffalo.
Prelo made the tackle.
Team timeout.
And a timeout's going to be used to stop the clock. 3:41 remaining, and that leaves 2 timeouts left for Buffalo. Atlanta, all 3 remain.
Well, the way it's looking here, 1 first down won't run out the clock, but 2 first downs will.
Timeout. 3:41 left. Atlanta by 7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by new Pepsi Twist. Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon. And by Rolaids. Rolaids. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relief.
Hey, welcome back inside the Georgia Dome. Atlanta fighting for their playoff lives. If they win, they'll play another week and run their record even at 7-7. They have the football and up by 7. 2 timeouts left for Buffalo. Atlanta with 3. Chandler, who's gone the distance, throws incomplete. That stops the clock. He wanted Tony Martin.
And you said it, that stops the clock. 2 timeouts left for Buffalo. They don't need to use one here, and now it's 3rd and 9.
Actually, you get 3 when you think about the 2-minute warning.
That's right.
You see scores around the country. Giants losing with 1:27 and counting.
One of the Falcons' playoff scenarios. The Giants need to lose.
Atlanta today 7 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. Chandler goes shotgun. He strolls back and throws, and up high for the reception is Finneran. 1st down Falcons, and Chandler. Maybe it's a little easier now to get off the turf when you hear that the pass is completed, but Finneran a big target at 6'5".
And he didn't need to be a big target that time. He flat out beat Antoine Winfield in man-to-man coverage.
Buffalo, that's their 2nd team timeout.
He's the slot receiver on the top of your screen. And that's Keith Newman. Keith Newman just, and he just doesn't want to get hit, not feeling like he feels. Oh, man. You could see him, his head bounced up off the turf, and then he just laid it back down, and you could just hear him saying, why on earth am I getting hit like that now?
Chandler today 401 yards. The last Falcon to go over 400 was Barkowski. Steve Barkowski against the Steelers back in 1981.
You were 3 years old.
Oh, I wish. That's 20 years ago.
Who was president? That was Reagan. Reagan had just been elected in 1981.
Yes.
His first term.
Very good with the history books, Mr. Manic.
2 Bush presidencies ago. That's how long it's been since a Falcons quarterback has gone over 400. Chandler's done it today. Sick with IVs at halftime.
And just pulled himself off the turf after getting a heck of a hit from Newman. On the ground, Rodney Thomas, 4 yards to the 47. And Hansen lost his hat. Couple of Bills down. Phil Hansen, the left end, 11-year pro and a North Dakota State. And I can't quite spot the other number.
Bryce Fisher.
Well, it looks like everybody just got the wind knocked out of them, unfortunately. This actually plays into Buffalo's hands. Boy, they're holding up against his chin. Looks like Hansen just got nailed in the chin. And he's walking gingerly. It's got to be a lot more than just a cut chin. There may be, if his chin were merely cut, he'd be back out there.
Oh, coming up January 15th on CBS, the creator of Jag brings you a new drama that dares to take you inside the Supreme Court. First Monday, don't miss the new series premiere Tuesday, January 15th, right here on CBS.
He's sitting down very gingerly, so, you know, a split chin he's had before a million times. You're not ginger about that. You tape it up and you get back out. He may have a Peyton Manning injury there, a jaw of some sort.
Well, he may have to shave the Van Dyke, though, to get a stitch or two. Second down, 7. 2 on the play clock. They just get it off. Handoff. Thomas crashes into a wall of white and a yard up to the 48.
Timeout. Buffalo. That's their third and final timeout.
Buffalo burns their final timeout, but they still have the 2-minute warning. And stay tuned. Second game of a doubleheader here on CBS. Couch against Favre. Cleveland at Green Bay.
Well, the 2-minute warning will matter little. This is 3rd and 6. If the Falcons can convert on this, they'll then run the clock down to the 2-minute warning and have first down. They'll have 40 seconds times 3 as long as they stay in bounds. That's 120 out of 120. 2 minutes is 120 seconds. I'm just doing the math in my head here. My abacus I left at home. Therefore, even though they had that timeout at the 2-minute warning, if the Falcons convert here, they can run out the clock with kneeling down to the last couple of seconds.
There's the first-year defensive coordinator, Jerry Gray, who's a terrific safety at Texas. 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year back in '83 and '84. Oh, look at that. We continue to keep a look at the scores around the NFL that have an impact on the Falcons. Tampa Bay rolling over New Orleans, but the Giants now have taken a 3-point lead with 20 ticks left on the clock. Chandler, man coverage, far sideline incomplete. He had Tony Martin man-to-man against the rookie Nate Clements.
Well, Martin wants a pass interference penalty on that. In this kind of a situation, it's got to be pretty flagrant for the official to intercede.
Trevor, how about the call, though? Chandler, woozy. He's had a great second half, granted, but you go to Tony Martin on a long pass down the far sideline.
Well, here's why you do that, because Buffalo expects you to go for 6 yards and 1 inch. And so you think it might be open for the longer pass.
Peerless Price set to receive the punt. Great hang time. Price runs underneath at the 17, call it the 18-yard line. A 35-yard kick. No timeouts remaining for Buffalo. They're down 7. The 2-minute warning still to come. 2:29 left in the 4th. And I'll do my math. 81 yards from a potential tying touchdown.
And it's the touchdown they need. That's why in the drive that they had last where they got the field goal, the penalties moved them back far enough to where they were not able to convert a touchdown. That hurt them, because here they would only need to get to about the 20-yard line, 22-yard line for a good field goal attempt. Instead, they got to take it all the way in for the touchdown.
Buffalo working against the 31st ranked pass defense in the National Football League, giving up over 250 yards a game. Keith Brooking there to break things up. Incomplete. Stops the clock at 2:25. Second down and 10. Chandler, a 400-yard day.
Van Pelt under center, 2 wideouts to the top of your screen. They'll set and throw. Little square out, and it's caught by Moles. Out of bounds, first down at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's only Moles' second catch of the whole game. He hasn't been involved at all. And in this drive, when it's clutch, you got to go to your money guys. Now, remember when Reuben Brown got up late earlier in this half because he was kind of injured and shaken up. He got up late again and was late to get back to the huddle. Reuben Brown is now dragging.
3 wide receivers set, 1st and 10, 2:19 left at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Bills down 7, no timeouts. Van Pelt throws. Bryson, nice little nifty move, picked up a couple of more up to the 38-yard line. That's maybe going to run it down to the 2-minute mark.
That's why you can throw it in the middle of the field. The 2-minute warning will now stop the clock.
2 minutes left at the Georgia Dome. Atlanta up by 7. We'll be back. Two minutes left as Chris Chandler looks on. Coming up, game 2 of our doubleheader. Cleveland at Lambeau against the Packers. Well, Chandler has given the Falcons 7 points, and now it's up to the Falcon defense. They dump it off to Bryson. Out of bounds as he tries to hurdle to the first down marker. Boy, Derek Vaughn met him. Number 37.
Well, Derek Vaughn, a special teams ace. He's used to hitting people. Bryson does a very good job of chipping on Shane Durnett to help John Fina, and then now to try to get out of bounds rather than to dive forward and try to get that first down. 4-down territory. They got 2 shots to convert and move it up the field, and there's still time to work the middle on the pass.
No timeouts left for Buffalo. They're down 7, 3rd down and short. Van Pelt sets and fires. It's complete. Peerless Price with the first down at the 42. Vaughn wrapped him up. Clock runs. 140 and counting.
There's still time for a catch and run over the middle, then run up and spike it. They don't have to work the sidelines exclusively.
4 wideouts. Bryson the lone back. Van Pelt pedals back. Flush from the pocket, throws. Caught out of bounds, stops the clock. Eric Moles with a great body control reception inside the 35-yard line.
And what impressed me there was Alex Van Pelt moved, Craig. he doesn't move. He doesn't go anywhere, and yet he makes this play off of the scramble. And on the run, he throws this ball perfectly so that only Moles can catch it. He has to get it up and over Buchanan, and he has to get it there before the safety help can get there.
Again, remember this drive with no timeouts for Buffalo, and they are taking on the 31st ranked team in the National Football League in pass defense. 1:22 left, down 7 with the football. And now the Falcons will use a timeout.
Timeout, Atlanta. That's their first team timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Well, the Giants won today. That means one of the things that need to happen for the Falcons to make the playoffs is they win out, of course. The Giants need to lose 1 of the next 3. They win this one, so they've got to lose 1 of the next 2. New Orleans, Tampa Bay. That means now that New Orleans needs to lose 1 more, and Tampa needs to lose both of their remaining games, both at home to Baltimore and Philadelphia, which is possible. So the Falcons stay alive in the playoffs if they can beat the Bills today.
Their road, though, to the playoffs, should they win today, Trevor, it's still a tough finish. They've got to finish up at Miami, at St. Louis.
And you know, their best shot with St. Louis is if the Rams have home field advantage wrapped up by then, and then they wouldn't play Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk the entire game. They'd want to rest those guys and protect them from injury. If that game matters to the Rams for home field advantage throughout the playoffs, it'll be tough for the Falcons to win in St. Louis.
First and 10. Buffalo at the 35 of Atlanta. Price in motion, starts one way, back the other. Van Pelt under pressure, on a knee, throws, incomplete. And the clock stops with 1:17 remaining. 2nd down and 10. Give me some play selections, Trevor. You try going to the end zone right here? Could you throw the post?
No intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area.
I think the best play selection now is to throw the ball about 12 yards up the middle, possibly to Jay Reamersma, the tight end, and let him run, then go up and spike it.
Larry Sinners in. He flushes out of the backfield. Throw on a knee. Caught. Germany out of bounds at the 3-yard line. The rookie from Ohio State. He was tackled before he got out. The clock runs with 1:03, 1:02. First down, Buffalo. And Van Pelt spikes the ball to stop the clock with 55 ticks.
And these long-suffering Bills finally had a break go their way. Derek Vaughn, who was covering Germany, fell down at the very moment that ball shows up. Now number 37's on the ground. That's Derek Vaughn. And he fell down as he was going in to try to knock the ball out. That's what allowed Germany to get up and continue to run. Had Vaughn not fallen down, he would have tackled him right there.
Second catch for Germany for 40 yards on the day. And now it is 2nd and goal. 55 seconds remain. Movement up front, no flags, the ball knocked down the line of scrimmage. Dronette, I believe, number 75, able to get a hand up. That brings 3rd and goal.
Well, you're the Atlanta Falcons. You've got 2 plays to keep Buffalo out of the end zone to preserve the win. Now it'll be a tie with a chance if they do a 2-point conversion.
Therefore, there's no pass interference. 3rd down.
If Buffalo scores here, it'll either be a tie or they'll go for 2 to try to win it outright. But if you're the Falcons, your season, your playoff hopes, you got to figure come down to these 2 plays.
Buffalo last week in a tight game against New England, lost that one in overtime, 12-9 in a game of field goals. Van Pelt throws on the fingertips. Touchdown, Moles. .48 seconds remain. That ball was a stretch, and Moles went out and got it.
Well, some of the cliches, Craig, are cliches because they're true. Now, forgive me for saying it's a game of inches. This ball is inches away from being knocked out of there by Ray Buchanan. Inches. And yet the pass thrown perfectly. Moles to the edge of extension.
Atlanta, that's their 2nd team timeout.
I think they called timeout there. They want to see if they want to replay this. He wants a little more information before he does it. But
well,
they didn't
remember,
want them
though,
to line up and kick an extra point.
In the last 2 minutes, that replay's got to come from upstairs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They didn't want Buffalo to do what happened to Cleveland, where they would line up real fast to kick an extra point and therefore be some ambiguity as to whether or not it should be replayed. They wanted the time to see this thing through. Because that's what happened in Cleveland. The replay buzzer came down, but before the official could wave off the play, Cleveland went to spike it.
Well, there's even more controversy because of the fake spike, and then he went down and stopped the ball, stopped play.
Yeah, I went down and talked to the officials before the game today. They said that should have been called intentional grounding. But what happens here, though, is now there's time for everything to be set in. Will there be a replay? And it looks like there will not be. But at least it happened in the light of day and people thought about it.
Moles with the touchdown, an extra point away from tying this game. What an incredible drive by Van Pelt and Buffalo as they work the clock. 48 seconds left. And Shane Graham will try to tie this game. High snap, and the kick is up, and we're tied at the Georgia Dome.
My goodness.
Well, Van Pelt now walking down the sidelines. High five, shakes. 48 seconds left. Falcons with one timeout. Unbelievable.
Boy, each team answering the others for two entirely different reasons. The Falcons, because they want to stay alive in the playoffs. If they lose this game, forget it. They're going to be home. come January 7th. The Bills are going nowhere for the playoffs. They want to set up for a good season next year. They know that the teams that are the best this year struggled last year early but finished strong. When you look at San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
Chicago,
they finished strong last year, and they took that momentum into this season. Buffalo wants to do the same thing. Both teams playing for a different reason, both teams answering the bell.
And Van Pelt right on the money. You could not have thrown that ball any better as Moles pulled it down.
The ultimate extension by Moles. He couldn't have extended another inch.
11 plays, they go 82 yards in a minute 41. And on that drive, Van Pelt was 7 of 11 for 82 yards.
Oh my!
Derek Vaughn nearly broke it, and he will be stopped at the 44-yard line.
Oh, that's still a huge return. Normally on a squib like that, what you want to do is keep the ball out of the returner's hands so they can't set it up, so they get the ball around the 30 or so. Instead, look at this field position. 42 seconds to go. They will be in field goal range with a few first downs.
One timeout remaining. Now, Jay Feely already with 3 field goals in this game for Atlanta. His longest of the season, 55 yards. This drive with 42 seconds will start at the 43 of Atlanta, and Chandler with a terrific second half will go from the shotgun. 3 wide out set. Chandler throws up and over the middle. Ooh, what a hit as Christian is upended at the 50-yard line. They reset at midfield, and a quick spike by Chandler stops the clock with 24 seconds left. One timeout for the Atlanta Falcons.
Now they need to get this ball and drive it 27 yards down to the 23 in order to be at a 40-yard field goal range, which is where you've got the best opportunity, 40 and in, to make this field goal. So 27 yards. But they've got to convert here, or I'll bet you they'll punt.
Feely, the rookie from Michigan, warming up on the sideline. 3rd down and 2. Chandler throws complete. Mathis at the 44-yard line. It's the hurry up. He's going to try to spike it down one more time. He still has a timeout left. And Chandler spikes it, and a flag comes out.
Oh, no, he didn't. The offense wasn't set for a second.
Oh.
Whoa! He's calling on the defense.
Illegal formation. There was no illegal eligible receiver on the right side of the line. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
The first official pointed over at Buffalo with that. But either way, it's still the same problem. They get the first down now. The reason they spiked it there instead of calling the timeout there was now on this play, and this is it. They've got to get it into field goal range now, or they'll have to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. They did that because now they can complete the ball in the middle of the field and then call timeout. If they'd have called timeout there instead of spiking it, they couldn't have used the middle of the field.
1st down and 15. That really doesn't matter at midfield. They're trying to get it close enough for Feely, who's kicked one from 55 this season, to at least get a shot. Chandler from the shotgun throws up and over the middle. It's caught. Finneran fighting for yards to the 34. They can use their final timeout. Did they get the clock stopped?
They should have. They were calling timeout. The officials were blowing the whistle. There were still 2 seconds left.
Atlanta called their 3rd timeout with 2 seconds on the game clock.
Good call, Trevor. They're going to stop it and put 2 back on the clock.
But now the question becomes, that's a 51-yard field goal for the rookie. Do you go for the field goal or the Hail Mary? And I think you go for the field goal.
Feely has made his way on. And the punter, Chris Moore, also there. He will hold.
He's saying don't be offsides. Don't be offsides. Why? Because that'll move him 5 yards closer. It goes from 51 to 46 yards. And with no time left on the clock, they'll have another shot. So the key here, Greg Williams reminding his troops, Don't be offsides.
52-yarder for the win and to keep the playoff hopes alive for Atlanta. Jay Feely, a rookie from Michigan. Moore, the holder. The kick is away. Is it long enough? Good! Jay Feely, a rookie, a free agent pickup out of Michigan. And Atlanta beats Buffalo 33-30.
Good snap, good hold, and he knows it. Hit it solid. And he doesn't hurt himself in the celebration, Craig, which is also a bonus. And Greg Williams' team fought so hard and kept coming back so many ways from being down and then taking the lead and being down and taking the lead. And then like this is heartbreaking for him.
You know, Trevor's second week in a row, Buffalo has suffered heartbreak. They had played and played for Greg Williams last week in overtime, losing by a field goal to New England. And today they fight back to tie. And the Falcons able to work the ball down the field, and at least Feely got the try, and he connects from 52 as the clock runs dry.
As you see Reeves congratulating special teams coach Joe DeCamillis on his unit coming up with the winning points. What a heartbreak for Buffalo, but what a moment for Atlanta. They stay alive for another week, and this man here is going to go and lay down and drink some fluids and take an aspirin.
A remarkable second half for that guy. Coming up, our second game of our doubleheader for Trevor Manich, Craig Bullerjack, and our crew saying so long from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The final score, Falcons 33, Bills 30. Coming up next, more NFL here on CBS. Happy holidays from Atlanta.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the game of your choice, everyone. I'm Spencer Tillman here with you on NFL Sunday Ticket. I'll be back in 30 seconds with scores and updates from the early games and a rundown of the late kickoffs right after we do this.
Hey, what's up? I just ordered Total Choice Platinum from DirecTV. Now I get over 160 channels. More than 30 premium movie channels, including HBO, Stars, and Showtime. Plus over 20 specialty and regional sports networks. All for one great monthly price. Total Choice Platinum is the best DirecTV experience for the best value. Just call 1-800-DirecTV. You only live once, why miss a single channel?
Total Choice Platinum. Better than a breath of fresh air.
Well, I wish I could take credit for this line, but I can't. A touchy-feely situation. Thanks, Woody, for the line. Atlanta doing the job with under 2 seconds to go in that contest. Jay Feely, the freshman out of Michigan. Unbelievable. Talented outcome for this young guy. 33-30 to break Greg Williams' heart and get Dan Reeves the decision. All right, let's take a look at some other scores in this Week 15 of NFL action for you. The Saints and the Buccaneers on strong. 48-21 is your final there. In this one, Rondé Barber, 3 picks, 1 return for a touchdown in this contest. The Rams and the Panthers, meantime, St. Louis 38-32 is your final now. St. Louis continues to roll. Marshall Faulk, 202 yards rushing in this one, including a 70-yard touchdown run. The Bears and the Redskins, meantime, Chicago has gone final 20-15, the difference there. And Jacksonville and Minnesota, and what has happened with Dennis Green's bunch. 33-3 on the short end are the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions and the Steelers, meantime, and I'll tell you what, a tough place to string 2 back-to-back wins together. Cordell Stewart, 3 touchdown passes, 1 rushing. We talked about him as a possible MVP candidate. Did nothing to damage that assessment so far. And the Bengals and the Ravens, meantime, the defense doing the job here. Baltimore shutting out Cincy 16-0 is your final. And an interesting contest, a cardiac comeback for the New York Football Giants, 27-24. Ron Dane broke loose in this one late in the contest to help out the G-men in their come-from-behind win. But again, Kerry Collins hooking up with Ike Hilliard down the stretch was the difference in this one. There is the Bills and the Falcons final for you. As we said, Jay Feely, 48 seconds to go,
did the Falcons score a touchdown, and with 2 seconds left, the 52-yarder comes from the foot of Feely to ice it away. The Chargers and the Chiefs, meantime, the inclement weather forcing both teams to go to their running game, and Priest Holmes had an interesting outing today. But Green, a touchdown pass and 2 interceptions as well, didn't help the effort. Kansas City, 20-17 is your final there. A couple of late games coming your way. Green Bay has gone on the board with the touchdown pass by Brett Favre. The extra point was missed. They're on top 6-0. Dallas and Arizona are scoreless. All right, turn to the game of your choice. I'll see you later with a wrap-up of today's action here on NFL Sunday Ticket.
Hi, I'm Jake Plummer of the Arizona Cardinals. Happy holidays from all of us at NFL Sunday Ticket.
Each new Sunday meant a brand new challenge, rich with new opportunities. A time for achievement, a time for purpose, a time for glory.
Moving the ball and strutting their stuff. We got the edge, Marvin Harrison too. Peyton Manning, they're the man in blue. There's a three-headed monster on the loose again. Showing up the field, the Colts are gonna win. Go Colts! We got Terrence, Marcus, Mike, and Ken, Adam Meadows, and Tarek Glenn. We got Jason Ellis, Jeff and Chad, Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, that dude is bad. Everybody cheer, the Colts have come to play. With Coach Jim Mora, we're going all the way. Go Colts! Go Colts!
Manning under center, drops to throw the quick pass over the middle. Caught by Harris, he's gone! He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! He's got Harrison wide open. Marvin's got it to 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! The 8th time this year. Touchdown, Edgerrin James! The Colts are up 16-0. Touchdown to Marvin Harrison. And the Colts lead the Eagles 26-0.
The Indy Colts gonna stop the run, gonna stop the pass. We're number one. Got the zone blitz, making tackles and blocks. Listen to the cheers. Indy Ross. Go Colts! Go Colts! Go Colts!
Jerry Rice is the touchdown scorer of the century.
And Dan Marino has broken another record, most touchdown passes ever.
Dempsey with a 63-yard field goal. The longest field goal in the history of the National League.
Marcus Allen dives over a touchdown, his 100th career rushing touchdown.
Cody Dorsett is in the record books. 99 yards.
Coach Shula being mobbed as he becomes the all-time winningest coach in the history of the National Football League.
Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rushers. And listen to the standing ovation.
The palms of your hands will thicken, the skin of your cheek will tan. You'll grow ragged and weary and wet, but you must do the best you can. Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain? Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
gotta get going. Let's go now. Arrowhead, baby. Arrowhead. Come on. Best stage in the world now. Arrowhead, though.
The reason this is special is the guys that are wearing the jerseys, though.
That's right. And those people wearing the jerseys up there help. I'm a Chief fan. Daddy was a Chief fan, too. Hey, guys. Guys. It's AFC football, baby. Chiefs, Monday night. Let's take it to these guys. We owe them. Yeah, baby. These guys knocked us out last year. We're going to take it to them tonight and knock their will out. On 3-0 line. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's go, guys, right now.
16/loss. I don't want 16.
Hey, come on, baby. Good drive. We got to score, though, guys. Can't put it in the kicker's hands. All these penalties are keeping their drive going. They can't move the ball without the hell. The defense can't stop that dude. I don't know what the deal is.
Second down and goal from the 2. Another penalty. Getting the throws, and it's caught.
You gotta be kidding me. All right, guys, let's go get ourselves 7 right now. Got to answer a score with a score. Hey, guys, we got to carry our boys for a while here. Let's go until they get figured out. I flattened him pretty good, and the back hit right in here, and he's put his. I didn't think, yeah. See, I have him there. See that?
1-yard touchdown back.
It's a 32.
Wide right, receiver counter motion, 70x fullback wide left.
32. 2. Will. 94. Hey, answer a score with a score. Let's go.
There's glory in the legends of this hard muscle life, and there's poetry in each season made of sweat and strife. Winds whisper of high hopes. Victory is in the skies. A season awaits with glory in her eyes. One joins with many on summer's green field. Time to strive, to dare, for all not to yield.